Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Today we are going to have a training on Malaysian e-invoice implementation, challenges and solutions for Malaysian business partner. E-invoice is applicable to all taxpayers, not necessarily business. Okay, so I'm basing my training on the latest guideline by income tax dated 4th of October. So income tax has got a lot of guidelines since, a lot of changes since September last year, then April, then September, and then one more. At least 4 guidelines. So this is not to be your last training. You will have to have a lot more training after that. Maybe the training after that will be very easy. We can just send you the notes only. Okay. Okay. So I just want to introduce myself. My name is Elaine. That's my picture when I better. Okay, I'm an accounting graduate from University of Malaya, 1984. Currently I am the principal consultant for my own company, EPGL Consulting. I've got 40 years experience. Okay, I started in public accounting, audit and tax. Then I went to corporate. I went to public listed company. I did compliance, tax, planning, corporate. Then later I went on my own. I did system implementation. And I've been on my own for 26 years. I help people to do GST, SST, and now e-invoice. So basically mine is at the bottom. I move from bottom up lah. So basically those people who never used system before, I help them to computerize the system. Yeah, it's a hands-on training. Okay, I've been approved HRD since 2013. Okay, so what we're going to cover today will be, we're going to understand the benefits of e-invoice. Okay, then later we're going to know how it works, what, why, when, who, how it works, the guidelines and the regulations. Okay, then we're going to look how become importance of issuing e-invoice in accordance with LHDN requirements, and then what happens if you don't comply. Okay, and then number 4, we know exactly when to issue e-invoice, when to issue consolidated e-invoice, and when to issue self-bill invoice. One company will have to do all 3 sometimes. Yeah. Okay. Number 5, you are become aware of the time frame to cancel or reject the invoice, because once you upload already, you forget, I made a mistake, you want to cancel, then you can cancel. Number 6 is what are the challenges you face and how we are going to overcome it. So we'll give you a few solutions. We'll go through the few solutions later on. You can tell me what are things you feel. Then we'll go through the solutions. And number 7, how the changes will affect your business operations. This is a game changer. E-invoicing is a game changer. It changes the way you do business from now onwards. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, this is my course content. First of all, after that, I'll go through just I went through what I'm going to cover. After that, I'd like you to introduce yourself. Okay. Then module 1, I'm going to have the essentials of Malaysian invoice. Okay. Module 2, I go through the fields required for e-invoice. Number 3, the workflow, how to submit to e-invoice. We will not go through the actual submission, but I go through the submission. Okay. Then number 4, the specific guidelines for certain industries relevant. Number 5, the challenges and the solutions. Number 6, we'll go through activity, and we're going to do the recap. Okay. So this is what we're going to cover. So based on this, on these things that I'm going to cover, I need you to write on a piece of paper what you expect from this course, and also put in your name there at the top of the paper lah. I won't see your answers for this, because at the end of the course, I'll go through your paper and see whether we have managed to cover your expectations or not. So just write down your name, and then after that we can close the paper. After I get you to introduce yourself, but at least write down whether you are a business owner or an employee or a director of the company. You will have some challenges you feel about this e-invoice. You don't know what is it lah. You may say, oh, I don't know what I don't know what I don't know, but at least tell me what I know. So at the end of this course, the 3 hours, 4 hours course, we hope to answer your queries. You can list more than 5. Is you got no questions to write down? Nothing to write down. The more questions to write, the better, because at the end of the course, I'll ask you whether these your own questions have been answered through my teaching or not. It should be answered. If it's not answered, then you have to bring, but it should be answered, whatever questions like, yeah. Okay, you need more time? Anyone more time?
No.
No, okay, what I want to do is, I have your registration form here. I just like to introduce yourself. One.
Saya Puan Aida Haji Ismail ya. Kita menerima pusat perkhidmatan perolehan. At the same time, saya juga seorang pembuka dan kontraktor kerajaan.
Okay, so boleh tak saya tahu apa satu soalan dalam you punya question?
Okay. Salah satu soalan yang memang saya nak tahu adalah macam mana sebenarnya kontrak kalau dengan kerajaan macam mana? E-invoice ni how does it affect?
Okay.
Sebab saya difahamkan yang government takkan the e-invoice tu kita yang kena buat
Yeah.
something like that macam
Yeah,
tu.
yeah.
Itu saya memang tak tahu.
Okay, satu question introduce yourself.
My name is Hafiz. I'm working at Source Energy Sdn Bhd as accountant.
What does Source Energy do?
They do installation of solar panel,
Oh,
residential and also industrial.
okay. And then what are one of the questions that you have on your paper? Just
Timeline of submission.
okay, good. We will cover that later
Yeah,
on.
of course.
You are?
I'm Yogi,
Yeah, yes.
coming from the same company, Source Energy. I'm from the HR department.
Mm.
So I think HR point of view, I do want to understand what exactly like we need to do. I also am aware that it's related to tax and all, right? So I also want to be like sure that HR apa yang kita kena prepare lah.
HR very important person in
Yeah, so
e-invoicing.
that's why we are here today to understand more about it.
Okay, alright. And you? Your name?
I'm Audrey. I'm from EIA. So we have been given this instruction to provide our team number a few months ago because of e-invoicing. So right now I'm using Gimla and the company's office. So I'm wondering how to generate the e-invoice.
Gimla. I think Gimla cannot do
I
e-invoice.
don't think so. Yeah.
So you will have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Anyway, let's read one of the questions inside there.
this one how to
Gimla.
GIMBLE.
Okay, can I know you are doing?
They are already.
What software you using? This one?
QuickBooks.
QuickBooks. And Puan Aida, what? Huh? Accounting software?
Oh, okay, Mayo.
Oh, you're using Mayo. I'm doing Mayo. Sorry. Okay. So we will go through your questions later. Okay. We'll go through expectations later. At the end of the course, we'll see what you do is you go through your questions and tell me which one I didn't cover. Yeah? Alright. So we're going to introduce what is e-invoicing. E-invoicing is to enhance the company's tax department. Okay? Tax administration. It is going to be a new era in business here because you got to submit your e-invoice to LHDN first before you give your customer. Okay, you have to give to LHDN first before you give the customer. So assuming I sell to you, all four of you, I upload to LHDN. So LHDN will make a copy in your tax file of your expenses because it's your expenses. Okay, so if four of you sell to me also other services, your expenses will also be in my list expenses. So LHDN will know how much your income that you send, how much expenses you'll give me. So ultimately, they will know how much is the profit. A plus and minus 10%, 20%. Okay, so it's going to be a game changer. Definitely going to change it because LHDN will see your photos, will see your income first. Just like now we take photo, we eat outside, we take photo first before we eat. This is going to be the same thing. LHDN will see your figures first. So you need to know your regulations first, your process, make sure what you submit is what the other party also will not reject. If the other party is going to reject, you will have to do credit note. You cannot just take a piece of paper, scrap, stipex, cannot anymore. Okay, so it's going to be a game changer, really going to be a game changer. Okay, then e-invoice will create a level playing field for all businesses. It ensures all income is reported, hence taxes are duly paid. The main problem about our income tax here is some people don't pay tax. So by doing this, everybody pay tax. Imagine you all will tell me how much expenses, so my income is how much. Last time, we can do with the whatever figures. Okay, there's another group of people, the foreigners, they don't pay tax. So now, if we have to report on their behalf, they will pay tax. Foreign suppliers also, they don't pay Malaysian tax. So by e-invoicing, they will pay Malaysian tax. Yeah, and then our tax revenue will increase higher lah. Okay, number 4, Malaysian invoice is the invoice that is required to be validated by IRBM before it can be transmitted digitally between supplier and business. Before I can send you, I have to send to income tax first.
What happen if you tak buat macam tu?
Penalty. Because you tak buat, I tak nak beli dari you. Because I cannot claim expenses. Okay? If you sell to me, you don't want to give me e-invoice, I don't want to buy from you because I cannot claim expenses, and I will go to someone who can give me e-invoice. It's similar to GST. But GST, you don't have to inform LHDN your income. You only inform how much you do at the end, how much you need. But now you have to inform before you inform the supplier. So there'll be a lot of people who they say, I don't want to do. Yes, I don't want to do. You will lose business because nobody's going to buy from you. Okay, and this business also affect the small business, the makcik kia and all the things. They will be affected. They will be affected because nobody going to buy from them if they cannot issue the e-invoice. Yeah. Okay. So after that, you think of it. Oh, what happened to your business? So you can write down the challenges you have now. Okay. Then number 5, e-invoice is the same as what the paper you have. Whatever you need to do is you need to submit to income tax your supplier name, your buyer details, your item description. You must tell income tax the quantity, the price, the tax, the total amount, and the invoice amount. Income tax will have a copy of it. Okay, income tax will have a copy of it. Okay, and the whole idea is to, in the 12 Malaysia plan, I think 2012, they suggested this so that they want to digitalize the economy. That's the main reason.
No leaks.
No leak. GST, there was a leak. Actually, GST not supposed to leak, but there's a leak. But now this one will not have any finance leak, no tax leaks. Yeah? Okay. Next one. This is what I'm going to cover for the module 1.
Sorry.
Yes.
Can I see the previous slide?
Yeah.
The last point. Okay.
12 Malaysia plan.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah? Okay. This is what I'm going to cover for first part. This is a very important part. Okay, we are going to cover what is e-invoice, who are the authorities responsible for this invoice, why do you want to do this e-invoice. There are 2 bodies, one is IRB and one is MDEC. These 2 bodies are involved in this e-invoicing. Then later, how to submit, what is the complete module after this whole thing. This whole thing will be done by 2025, end of 2025. By 2026, everybody in Malaysia will be due on e-invoice. So what is the outlook that time? Yeah. Then when you need to submit your question, okay, who needs to comply, who are exempted, when is e-invoice required to be issued. So you know, when do you issue us? So I will cover that part. When are you not required to issue invoice? There are certain cases where you don't need to issue e-invoice. Number 12, when the customer can request the e-invoice after a normal receipt is issued. Number 13, what type of e-invoice? Number 14, what type of e-invoice transaction? 15, income expenses that are exempted from issuing invoice. Number 16, there's a relaxation period. And then number 17, I will tell you the penalties for non-compliance. So answer one of your questions. We don't comply.
Semua sudah takut penalti.
Okay? Can I? Okay, so just bear with me. It's going to be a tough topic to understand, but it's easy once you know already. Like now I try people, just remember a few things only you can remember. First thing, what is e-invoice? E-invoice is a digital representation. That means income tax says, I don't want you to give PDF copy. It's a digital representation of the transaction. It is a file created in computer language, XML or JSON. It's a computer language. So that means basically it is not PDF, not DOC, not JPEG. not email. It is a JSON. How to do this thing? So that means basically they need a computer software to do it. So the computers, the developer have to write behind so that they format in this format and upload to LHDN.
Only
Okay.
these two format.
Yes, only these two format.
PDF tak boleh ya.
PDF tak boleh, semua tak boleh. So these two format only computer developer only boleh buat. Okay. But then you say, very expensive computer developer, but income tax also will come out. You can go in, log in the portal and get to upload. Not normal file, then after you can upload lah. Okay.
Normal file what?
No, they got a screen for you to key in all the invoice details, everything lah. Then you can upload from there. That is the free one lah. Banyak kerja lah.
So you need to in your system and then LSDM portal.
Ah.
Done lah.
No, LH Pro portal kalau you don't have a system, you don't have lah. You don't have
You need to go to the portal.
portal to do lah. Okay So this is a sample of the format that they want.
Ayo. Faham, suruh Allah.
I know programmer, I tak faham.
Okay. Okay, alright. Okay, now we go to the next one. Yes.
Sorry, can go back to that.
You want to see this?
Let's say if we can copy this one using like I don't know Excel or Microsoft Word, copy this specific format. Will they accept and save it?
As long as you can upload lah.
As long as can upload lah.
This one banyak macam mana buat ni? This is what date, what issue, what they coding, this coding
Can be done.
can be done. Wah.
Tak buatlah dia pandai.
Dia pandai.
Pandai lah.
Okay.
Internal team lah.
This one lah banyak susah tau.
Yeah.
Kalau dia orang ada team memang
Okay, banyak team boleh.
menjimatkan HR dia kepada.
Okay.
Tapi ambil masa lah.
Next question. Who is responsible for this e-invoice? The first main body is income tax.
Oh, mati.
Okay. Income tax wants to do this because they want to
Catch everyone.
No lah. They just want everybody to pay their tax.
Tax lah.
Okay.
Apa
And number
dia
two is
buat?
MDEC. MDEC is the digitalization one. Okay. Income tax wants to submit your invoice saja. Then MDEC say, why don't you submit invoice? You go one more step. You submit to LHDN. Why don't income tax say, why don't you submit to LHDN? And I also submit to you digitally. So I don't care what software.
Memang back to back.
That is the MDEC punya objective lah. MDEC punya objective after 2026 maybe you will apply lah. Now we go into LHDN punya objective, submit to LHDN saja. Then after that LHDN may say, okay, why don't you take this information, submit to yours. I don't care what software you do, you can use ABC software, but you will go to your software, so you save one step. Digitalization. Just like your handphone, Maxis ke, Digi ke, I don't care, but anyway, up there, they will just transfer the information. So that is called the MDEC method lah. So, okay. It's possible because this MDEC method is called e-invoicing. A lot of countries, especially our neighboring countries, they are also doing it already. That means my software can go to your software. Yeah, my software can go to your software irrespective of what software we use. Okay.
Everything open, you cannot hide already.
This is objective by IRB. They want you to improve your business efficiency, save time and cost, increase tax compliance. This is the main idea lah.
Yeah, idea.
Okay, and then enhance tax collection, because right now a lot of people are evading tax. Okay, actually they can do flex planning is okay, but evading tax is the one that they don't want lah. So reduce revenue leakage. Number 4, support digital economy. Number 5, they want you to submit electronically, so there'll be less mistake. Okay, and also make tax filing easier and tax transparency. Okay, now you notice from here, I said all invoice must be submitted immediately. Once you issue invoice, update. So last time when we prepare tax, you only do the accounts 12 months. After 12 months, you take another 6 months to submit. Income tax got about 18 months before they see your results. Now no, every time immediately. So at the end of the year, they can estimate your tax already. You cannot say, hey, I want to adjust my figure. No more adjusting figure already. Whatever, like, I don't know whether you adjust that, but I'm just saying like, there are people who adjust the figure, or they want to put figure, they want to take out figure, no more. You want to do anything, you have to do now. Planning now. Planning on as you go along.
Mechanic semua susah. Mechanic, he said you want to tutup kedai because of invoice.
Yes.
Dia kata dia pandai
Because every invoice is sent there already.
yeah.
You cannot say, hey, I want to take out less invoice of it. And then your expenses, also your supplier will give the expenses already.
Kita memang hantar lah. Kita nak invoice kita punya client. Tapi tiba-tiba supplier tukar dia punya harga pun semua.
Boleh credit note. Boleh hantar credit note. Itu tak apa, boleh hantar credit note. Dulu tak ada hantar credit note. Dulu kita just ambil credit, tukar bayar saja. Sekarang mesti hantar credit note lah. Boleh hantar, itu boleh hantar. Proper way lah. Ya. But whatever it is, mesti bagi tahu LHDN dulu.
Psycho.
That is the game changer of e-invoice.
Game changer.
Okay. Now this is what LHDN wants lah.
They want to know.
Facilitate efficient tax filing. Okay, right now the tax filing you 18 months baru submit. Sekarang after this 2026 onwards you tak payah bagi saya dah tahu exactly how much tax you should pay. Just have to reconcile saja. Maybe your figure and my figure not the same, they reconcile. Then after say, okay, maybe we do another check ke apa ke. But exactly they will do at least 80% correct, accurate.
Yeah, if money is good lah.
Correct already, memang correct already.
Boleh lari tu.
Yang tak correct is accrual, prepayment, all the journal entries you buat all this lah. Depreciation all this lah. Itu saja yang the difference lah. But otherwise it will be 85% correct. Okay? Now we go to MDEC. What is MDEC's objective? Just not income tax. What is MDEC? MDEC wants to increase efficiency, improve cash flow, improve tax compliance also. But MDEC wants to digitalize and they want to do interoperable system. That means you are one system, you're one system, they want the system to be talking to each other. And it's possible. Possible. Our neighboring company already do already. There are 20 companies already done this already, especially the EU lah. They already done this because they got a lot of intercompany. So that I do sales, you go to your account as purchases. Don't enter again. Efficient. Okay. So and this is the main thing. Allow different accounting software and ERP system to send and receive invoices in a system to system. I just send system to system. No need human. Only one person. I do sales. You go to your accounts as purchases. Save your step. Yeah, that is possible. Okay, this is eliminate manual data entry and physical paper handling. Okay, accelerate payment. This because last time we all send paper. We never receive lah payment reply. We never receive. Now cannot say because it's already given to income tax. Income tax will give you a notification. Somebody has sent you invoice. You don't open, there's a pasal, but it's already income tax already. So cannot say I didn't receive. Tak boleh cakap tak ada terima ke apa ke.
Bodoh. Tak boleh buat bodoh.
Tak boleh buat bodoh. Okay? Okay, then ensure and organize work process and facilitate effective tax reporting. Okay.
This MDEC to SC, who do they report to?
MDEC report to no, MDEC report to PM I think. Yes. Okay. Now we say how to submit. Just now we say must submit lah. How to submit? So income tax got two ways. One is my invoice portal. This one is free. You log into my tax portal. Everybody got tax portal, right? You log into my tax, and then from there you can submit. There's a tab for my invoice tab. For company also there's a my invoice tab. For sole proprietor also there'll be a nice invoice tab. So log in, enter the details there. Okay, but the details got to enter again and again. If it's a repeat customer, you got to enter again and again. Okay?
How many fields?
55 fields.
Hai. Wow.
55 fields.
Satu invoice. Wah.
Okay?
Sampai tahun depan.
Okay. Then this one here, if you're using software like what you do, all the software you have, the software will do all the 55, you just fill up sajalah.
Satu kali lah.
Satu kali, they can repeat, can save the information. Okay, so this is application API. We call it API, but you can do both also. Because sometimes this one not working. Sometimes your software, some people they are big ERP software not ready for e-invoice, you know. Although they are already supposed to not invoice because the software cannot. Too difficult to write the software. They paying 500,000 still cannot get it up running. Betul. So that is by that meantime they have to do API lah, go the free one lah. But the problem about doing this is you can go income tax, but your account you still got to enter one more time. It doesn't solve your account problem. This one you enter here, you solve your account problem and then don't need to do double work. Okay? Okay, this is, I just want to explain to you the end to end. At the end of the thing, we look at this part here first. This part here, so you, supplier, you go to invoice portal, go into LHDN. Then LHDN will tell you, okay, done. Okay? But sometimes you got a software. So this software here, let's say the software supplier will go to the API software. Software will send to LHDN. LHDN go back to software. Software say, okay, correct, done. This is directly to LHDN, go to the portal. This one is to use the software. Okay, this part here is MDEX objective. MDEX objectives start before that. That means MDEX says you use your software. The software will send to a access point, a PayPal access point. Okay, this is the one that will share information to your supplier. But before they share information, this one will be responsible to send to LHDN. LHDN come back to them. Then they will share in the portal, and the portal will go to your supplier's access point and go to the software.
This vision is only for Malaysian company or inclusive of foreigner?
Foreigner.
Wow.
So this PayPal is like a directory, telephone directory. You put in your number there, they can say, oh, my supplier in US, I think UK, US, UK is already a PayPal member, so I can go straight to the accounts. Okay. So if you notice some of the accounting software, we got PayPal ready. PayPal ready, we are ready to do this part already, but it's just that we all want to do this part first. Then later when income tax say, okay lah, can do this PayPal, then we do the PayPal part lah. Okay, so it's two bodies. This is income tax, this is PayPal, this MDEC. You want to integrate everything. Okay, next part. This is the timeline. When you need to submit. Okay, initially, I think before that in 2023, they say you must submit until 2027 lah. But now they have revised it. 1st August is for 100 million and over. I got a few customers this category and they are successfully already. So I know my system can work. The second phase is 1st January for 25 million to 100 million. Okay, the third phase is every other payers. So every taxpayer, don't say, I don't have, I don't know. Everybody, if you don't have 25 million sales, yours is 1st July. Okay, but then there was also a relaxation period because when they did August that time, on 26 July, they say, oh, I think the software, some people not ready lah because they only give very short period only from April to August, 4 months to do the software. So they say, okay, we extend it until 31st January 2026 months. For this group, they extend from January to June, and this group begin July to December. So
even though it's extended until 30th June, everything must be keyed in lah from 1st January until 30th June, right? Must be in the system.
This one is to upload.
Yeah, I know. Like for example, let's say for phase 2, we only able to use the system by 1st of February, for example. We still need to key in 1st of January until 31st January in the system, right?
Yes. This relaxation period doesn't mean that you don't need to do.
Yeah.
You got to do, but you got to do on a consolidated basis.
Yeah, okay, understand.
Yeah. Okay, so this is to explain the timeline. The timeline is based on year 2022 income. So look at your revenue first time, not your profit, the revenue. If your revenue more than 100 million, then first phase. More than 25 million, second phase. Anything else, third phase. Okay. Then the second one is according to IS validation. The third one is any invoices issued before that date, no need to reissue to submit to LHDN. We can continue as normal. So on that day, you just submit to LHDN. Before that, you don't have to redo and submit to LHDN. Yeah. And also the fourth one, the compliance application is from the issue of me. If I'm July, you don't ask me to do 1st August, 1st January. I'm not going to apply. Mine is 1st July. I will give you 1st July, the e-invoice. Don't ask me, hey, now I have to do lah. You ask me, no, I cannot. Because it's my perspective, not your perspective. So that means everybody can wait until 31st December. I actually can wait until 1st July 2025 before every Malaysian will do. Then from July, I said, why you never give me invoice? Oh, I got 6 more months. Okay lah, you wait until 6 more months. So by December 2025, everybody in Malaysia will have to do e-invoice.
Tadi I tengok you ada kat situ ada exemption.
Okay, nanti. Yes, correct, nanti.
Ada effect lah juga since yang first time tadi.
Yalah.
Walaupun income dia kecil tu, ada effect juga.
Ada effect. Ada effect.
Sebab nanti orang tak nak beli daripada dia sebab tak ada orang nak claim. Dia tak boleh nak
Dia
claim.
tak boleh nak claim. Tapi susah lah bagi makcik-makcik.
Makcik-makcik lah. Nanti keluar makcik-makcik ada My Invoice Portal. Boleh app ada My Invoice Portal app, so makcik boleh tunjuk. You scan lah, saya prepare nasi lemak anda habis lah. Okay, saya bagi you email nanti.
But let's say if our counterparty dia tak register for this e-invoice, right?
Semua kena buat. Tak payah register punya.
Exempted. I mean yang exempted tu dia tak buat e-invoice. And let's say company A still want to buy from this exempted company. Can they raise like self e-invoice?
Kalau they're running business, we cannot. But 150,000 and below, they don't need to do. But there is no regulation for income tax about this 150,000 yet lah. But there's a regulation for others. But 150 belum come up with the regulation whether their normal bills can claim or not. There's no regulation. But towards the end, I think by July they'll come up with further regulation lah.
No, I mean like if phase 2 is buying from this exempted.
Now can do. Now phase 2 because the phase 1 only.
Let's say phase 1 is buying from this exempted company. Can phase 1 raise his own e-invoice?
No need. From now until December 2025 tak payah buat apa-apa. Because we assume dia akan buat by end of 2025. We can assume that. Yeah? Okay. Then number 6, your supplier is only required to implement e-invoice according to their timeline. Their timeline is not your timeline. Your timeline early, I don't care, but their timeline. Yeah? And also, taxpayers may continue to receive normal receipt or invoice during the transition period until full implementation is in place. you can still receive the normal invoice lah. They still allow you for tax deduction. 2026 only it will be a bit different lah. Yeah.
Especially yang those yang memang belum terlibat dengan
Belum terlibat.
Just manually biasa lah.
Manually biasa, yeah. Okay. Taxpayers can opt to voluntary participate. You boleh volunteer. And then new businesses start 1st July. Kalau any business after that date, you can start 1st July buat your punya e-invoice. Okay. Okay, sekarang dah tu siapa kena buat? Okay, semua orang. No exemption. Including foreigners.
Actually foreigner ni patut kena.
Betul.
Foreigner
Tapi-
is individual or company?
Both company and thing. Tapi foreigners not dia kata apa you punya Malaysia buat ni saya tak nak buat. So you have to do on behalf of the foreigner.
Oh.
Because the foreigner don't have to report to Malaysia. Kita Malaysia saja. So but because you buy from them, then you want to claim tax deduction, you have to do it on their behalf. That's called self-build. So if you got many foreign, you buy from many overseas, more or less like penalize you lah. Macam
So if
kalau
our suppliers is like from China or something, then
They
if
have to do
they want to do, then we have
they cannot do because they don't have to
Yeah,
comply
yeah.
with Malaysian. So you have to do for them.
Tapi macam mana nak pastikan itu betul ke tidak?
Ikut dia punya invoice lah.
Oh, jadi kita key in lah budak. Tengok
Yeah.
invoice kita key in
Ah.
lah.
Then dia punya accounts mesti tally lah. Bila you submit, kenapa ni figure dia tak sama dengan dia punya invoice, dia kena tally lah.
Is there any proof that we need to attach? Yang
No need.
tak payah
Just
lah.
follow the supplier invoice.
Kat situ mesti ada hiccup lagi.
Yeah,
Kat
Ah.
situ boleh
like
hiccup
there
lah
is a
kan?
gap already lah
Ah.
yang kita boleh buat.
Exchange difference pun ada lah. Yang ada gap ialah individual, yang 150 tu. And the individual. Okay. Then this one, all invoice applies to all companies that do commercial activity. Commercial maknanya kalau non-commercial tak payah, macam the mosque, the masjid, all this dia collect donation tak payah buat lah. Kecuali the mosque and masjid ada kindergarten, ada society, kalau no other, it is just
Money
members no business activity, then tak payah lah. But you got business activity, then you have to.
Macam cakap tadi kalau masjid
Masjid.
dia buat taskar.
Taskar dia kena buat lah. Taskar kena buat lah.
Tapi masjid itself tak lah.
Masjid itself tak payah lah. Okay. Okay, then sana association, body or person, branch, business trust, co-op, corporation, LLP, partnership, property trust fund, real estate investment trust, rep office,
Semua kena
trust body,
tak boleh lari.
unit trust. Including siapa yang buat commercial activity and including this. Association tak payah. Tapi depending on association, kalau ada business activity then kena buat lah.
Itu logik lah. Macam contoh persatuan yang
Persatuan.
memang ada
Yang jual t-shirt.
T-shirt.
Kena lah. Maksudnya yang branch tadi, maknanya kalau dia punya branch tu another invoice lain.
Tak ada. Same company but they can submit separately lah. Boleh buat submit separately. Okay. So tadi companies kan. Jangan cari jalan, ikut saja.
Tak boleh cari jalan.
Okay. Siapa yang exempted? Who is exempted? Tadi company semua buat tapi who is exempted? Exempted foreign diplomatic office. That means all the foreign tak payah buat sebab diorang memang tak ada income, they just collect you punya passport saja, duit saja. Yeah. And then individual, this is the big thing. Individual who is not conducting a business.
Nak conducting dia apa dia buat?
Dia jual, dia ada komputer, I nak jual komputer for you
Oh, it means like for example, I want to sell my
handphone to the company.
Okay.
Macam contractor, let's say macam individual contractor atau contract staff.
Tapi dia buat business.
No, tapi yang
Betul,
orang
dia
datang
macam-
kat rumah just buat plumbing ke.
Plumbing ke betul? Dia betul lah. Plumbing.
No, they collect money from you what?
No, let's
No,
say
no.
we have some random
Yeah,
people lah.
some in the office lah, sometimes they got handphone I want to sell handphone, and then you beli dari dia, then dia tak payah buat lah.
Private transaction.
Business transaction.
Buat agent.
If let's say it's not
Agent mesti buat.
Part-timers.
No, part-timers lah, yes. But they are not conducting business. So, they don't have to do e-invoice. So, you have to do.
so meaning
Sorry.
So let's say we have a part-timers, like for example, let's take me. I'm doing a freelancing for Soul Energy. So Soul Energy as a business, I will invoice them, but it's personal. I don't have a company.
You have a
so your
tax
Amy
file.
is invoicing a
Filing.
company.
Your tax file.
So not, am I exempted or not?
You're not exempted from implement invoice, but they have to issue for you. They have to issue for you lah.
You got TIN number, you got tax number.
Tax number.
They have to issue for them lah.
Income what?
Because you want to claim the expenses, they have to do for you.
Tak boleh lari.
Semua strategi.
So, if you don't want to do for them, you ask them to do lah. Ask them to open SSM account, then they have to do lah.
Yeah, that would be easier lah.
Easier lah. Okay? Statutory body, all the DBKL semua tak payah buat. So you bayar DBKL tak payah buat lah. Because they're government mah. Government to government. Okay? So they collect duit untuk charge statutory levy, summon semua tak payah buat. That means the receipt is a normal receipt. They don't have to validate lah. Don't have to validate to income tax and come back to you because they're also income tax lah. They're also government department. Okay? And then international organisation. One is taxpayers with an annual turnover or revenue less than 150. This is just recently announced only. Okay? Not many guidelines on this, but I got a few guidelines on this, but the guideline is we don't know how to apply that one. So right now we just transact with these people. Can be individual, can be makcik kia also.
Sebab macam kita buat pusat perkhidmatan perolehan. So, kita punya klien ni ada yang force ada ni. So, mereka ni baru nak belajar berbisnes untuk legal pada government. Contohnya buat nasi lemak.
Yalah.
Majlis rakyat minum petang. Kan? So, kalau
dia kan ada this lah. So, bila you beli dari dia tak payah buat e-invoice lah. So, kita tak tahu sama ada kita kena buat self bill ke tak tahu. Tapi kalau tak ada, kita kena buat self bill lah untuk dia. What is the disadvantage kita buat self bill? Sebab kita dah register dia punya account dekat HDN. So, katakan, betul, katakan dia kata 150 kan. Mungkin dia ada satu lagi 150. Dah 300. Satu lagi 300, dah 450. Dia kata you 350. Tapi kalau you dah bagi self bill, dia ada 3 orang lagi, dia dah 450,000 dah above dah this lah.
jadi dia pun risiko juga kalau tu sebab kita register dia mesti ikut dia punya maklumat.
Yes. Kita andai dia below. Yes.
Tapi dia pasti masalah.
You assume tapi dia punya
tapi risiko kat dia.
Risiko kat dia lah.
Kira raya dia banyak.
Dia kira
banyak million, betul. Betul. Okay. Okay. So above mentioned persons are not required to issue e-invoice. For tax purpose, the receipts and receiving documents by the above mentioned persons will be used as proof. That means diorang keluar receipt boleh okay. Tapi ini dia kena bagi receipt lah. Okay. So kita tak payah buat e-invoice tak apa. Tapi maybe come 2026 income tax kena buat juga.
Ya, dia boleh change also eventually.
Sekarang lah.
Tengok apa yang sesuai pada
ya, betul. Okay. So sekarang kan saya buat sini. You kata you tak ada 150 kan. Tapi kalau you punya shareholder is tenure turnover 150, you are not exempted. If your shareholder is a subsidiary holding company, you are not exempted. If you got joint venture 150,000, also not exempted. Okay, satu lagi ialah makcik Kia kata, oh saya ada kosmetik saja, 55. Tapi dia ada lagi Princess Tailor, dia ada lagi cafe. Semua ni more than 150.
Oh, habis.
So dia sepatutnya kena buat e-invoice juga. So maybe kita beli dari dia cafe, tapi kita tahu dia ada di ni.
We don't know.
Okay. So tailor ni mungkin tailor untuk company punya. Dia buat tailor. So company tu buat invoice untuk dia. Kita buat self bid. Kita beli hari kita buat self bid. Jadi satu lagi kosmetik orang tu buat self bid. Income tax dah tahu dia 160. Dia akan suruh orang ni bayar tax.
Kaya raya.
Dia memang akan berisiko kalau dia tak cakap.
Ya, betul.
Declare sebab kita nak
Tax.
Tolak
Tax deduction.
expenses.
Betul.
So either way company akan declare lah what they are paying. Betul tak?
Boleh. You can clear but to claim tax expenses you have to do self bid lah.
Self bill lah. Mana company tak nak buat self bill, definitely nak kena buat.
Sebab kita pula buat kerja tu lagi 2-3 kali.
Kalau dia tahu dia buat, kita tak payah buat. Tapi dia tak nak buat, kita kena buat untuk dia, kita nak buat tu. So this is a debit and credit accounting. Siapa buat ni dia tahu debit credit. Dia debit selesai credit sini.
Cannot hide, you know. Our business you got cannot hide. Ikut IC mah.
Ikut IC.
Awia ni ikut IC ni.
Dia tak cakap lah, tapi it's registered under the name of the respective sole prop. So prop you buka business ikut IC mah.
Ikut IC mah. Yalah. Macam Kia ni semua kaya raya.
Okay? When you issue, okay sekarang kita tahu siapa nak kena issue, apa nak issue, bila nak issue invoice ni? Bila is when we want to show kita punya proof of income. Okay? So proof of income, all the income kita ada, kita kena issue e-invoice. Semua jenis income kita issue pada customer. That's the first ruling. Second ruling is kita nak proof kita punya expenses. Kita proof expenses supplier sepatutnya bagi kita. Okay, tetapi ada sejenis customer yang tak bagi kita. Supplier tak bagi kita, macam individual tak bagi kita. Foreign supplier pun tak bagi kita. Then what kita nak do is, because kita nak proof kita punya expense, we have to do self bill. Okay, so this is proof of expense, purchases paid or other expenses incurred by taxpayers, returns, discounts, amount needed to correct Kalau nak reducekan the amount ke, salah amount ke apa, so we have to do discounts. And then situations where the supplier, especially a foreign supplier who does not use Malaysia's My Invoice system, is not compelled to issue an invoice. Therefore, the taxpayer need to issue self-bill invoice to document the expense. So basically, you kena buat.
Kena buat kena escape lah.
Cannot escape. Okay, that's why I say this is changing, game changer.
For the government.
Game changer Okay, next. When are you not required? Tadi kita required all. When are you not required? Bila orang tu tak nak bill. Tak payah issue lah, macam kedai makan tu. Tak nak issue, okay lah, tak payah issue. Tapi sebagai taxpayer, at the end of the month kita consolidate dan bagi tahu income tax. You still have to go, but you don't have to do individually lah.
Jadi dia takkan cakap you dengki ke you beritahu kat income tax.
Tak ada.
Pasal dengki mah.
Sebab kita nak kita punya income kena declare.
Berarti nak nampak macam kita tak ada expenses lah.
Okay. So generally B2C kind of business, orang tu customer datang, saya tak nak receipt lah. Tetapi sebagai taxpayer, kita at the end of the month, kita kena kumpulkan all the invoices dan submit to income tax on the consolidate basis.
S1 paper lah.
S1 total.
Yeah.
And then one total doesn't require to have a breakdown ke macam mana?
One total tu mesti tahu invoice number total.
So kena attach juga.
Jangan, tak payah attach, just letak saja.
No, I mean like for our filing sebab dia
Yalah, betul lah.
check, dia kena tengok semua.
Whatever you record, then nak breakdown lah.
Ini tu dah breakdown juga.
Memang tak boleh jadi.
Walaupun you tahu buat coding-coding itu tu.
Tahu coding-coding lah.
Tadi saya rasa dia nak fikir pasal coding dulu.
Tak, sebab takut bila nak implement dan makan masa. So while waiting, buat manual lah.
So for this case, normal receipt boleh buat. You can give normal receipt. However, you are required to aggregate the transaction and issue to LHDN within 7 days of the month after end month. Dia bagi you 7 days tau. That means end of November punya 7 December kena hantar pada income tax. 7 December tak kira raya. Raya 3 hari, weekend 2 hari. Satu tu tak kira. On the 7, by latest 7 you must hantar. So kita punya challenge January punya kena hantar February kan. February Chinese New Year tau. First, second, third is Chinese New Year. So macam mana orang tu? Saya kata, macam mana? Macam mana lah. Ada 7 itu hantar lah latest.
Big question.
Yes.
So let's say macam for example cafe lah, they have like for example 100 customers and then let's say 10 transaction they request for e-invoice because company buat jamuan lah. And then the other 90, do they like compile the 90 transaction send e-invoice because the
90 transaction send consolidate e-invoice.
Yeah, the 90 will be consolidated, the 10 will be individual lah based on the company.
Yes.
Okay.
10 will be individual.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 individuals send every day. I mean send whenever the customer wants, give the customer. Then the 90 is the one that you consolidate at the end of the month.
7 days lah.
Within 7 days. You don't have to do on the 7, you can do on the first, second, third.
Yeah,
so imagine people like Lazada, Shopee, they have to send every day lah. Kalau tak ada, banyak sangat nak kumpul satu tu.
Menangis.
Especially menangis.
Menangis.
11 sale, menangis.
11 sales tu menangis macam orang.
Good lah.
Okay, game changer kan?
Beratus ribu satu sale satu hari
Actually, it's nice when everyone implements. Kalau
Yes.
sekarang it's a bit scary
Like,
lah.
Now scary.
Now it's a bit scary.
Because you're the forerunner.
Nice kalau ada sistem. If you
Yeah.
don't have system, bye-bye
Cry,
lah.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
You will cry. 155
Okay.
steals.
Tapi bukan semua orang boleh buat consolidate. Ada industri tak boleh buat consolidate. Consolidate is bagus because you don't have to ask for customer nama. You just datang, saya jual pada you saja. I buat receipt, jual pada you tu saja. You tak payah dapat nama. Tapi ada industri mesti dapat nama.
Lazada, Shopee.
Tak ada. Lazada, Shopee pun tak payah. Satu industri yang tak payah. Okay, sebelum kita buat ini, kita sini. Tadi kata you tak beli sana tak payah receipt kan. Lepas tu 3 hari, bos kenapa tak ada receipt? I nak validate lah. You kena pergi sana minta dia issue e-invoice. And they have to do it within the month of transaction.
So dia boleh ingat bukan back date.
Mana dia boleh ingat? 3 days ago you jual apa?
Dia boleh datang sini dan minta I nak invoice lah. You kena korek dan bagi dia invoice. Dia kena submit dan bagi invoice. So this is a lot of accounting entry lah. Sebab 10 hari dah masuk bank, dah buat transaction, lepas tu kena buat balik, korek balik, reverse back ke apa ke, kena buat satu invoice bagi dia. Okay. So what I want you to do is you boleh pergi caring mungkin Family Mart atau popular bookstore, they are already practice ini. Kalau you tengok belakang receipt, dia kata if you want e-invoice, you come within 3 days. Don't come within the end of the month.
No, the QR code there was some of that.
Within 3 days. They
QR
tell you,
code you can scan already.
no, they ask you to do within 3 days. Don't wait at the end of the month. Because they don't want to correct, and then end of the month correct for you.
What happened if the transaction happen on the 31st?
Too bad lah. The law says at the end of the month ni mah.
So memang tak boleh lah 31st.
Memang tak boleh lah.
And then you can't come back next month, let's say after 8, 9
Cannot.
or whatever, you can't come back and
Because
it's done.
I had to do it by the 7th. I have to report to income tax by the 7th. So you cannot come the 8th. But you come the 1st also I cannot do because the regulation say within that month of transaction. But then they say, please lah. Then you had to do lah if you want that customer lah. So you have to do however you want to do lah. Pandai-pandai lah. Okay. So that's why we say invoicing system should be flexible to allow for customer to come back later to ask for e-invoice.
So customer 31st tak boleh lah.
Tak boleh. Okay. Okay, sekarang
Nak kena tengok customer time.
So next time you letak kat invoice, please ask for e-invoice within 3 days. Otherwise, no, cannot entertain. Tapi nanti you lose customer susah pula. Okay? Okay, so what are the invoice? So we have gone through a few series. What the invoice you need to do? You got to do 3 types of invoice. First of all, e-invoice, transaction. Every transaction you do e-invoice, upload. Second thing is consolidate at the end of the month. Siapa yang tak nak e-invoice, at the end of the month kita kena bagi consolidate and submit to LHDN as a total. Tapi mesti bagi invoice detail lah. Then the third one is self-bill. Foreigners yang tak bagi you invoice, you kena bagi self-bill. If not, this is the complete thing that you got to do e-invoice. Okay. Okay, this type of invoice. So every of the invoice you can do is invoice, credit note, debit note, refund. Okay, sekarang most people do invoice saja. Credit note ada buat tapi kadang-kadang extract saja. You bayar kurang lah. Okay, saya buat dalam sistem tapi tak boleh. Sebab apa kan kalau you bagi income tax 100,000 and you bayar 90,000, then the 10,000 tu nanti dia tak ada sistem tu untuk 10,000 tu. Dia kata, you punya sales 100,000, kenapa you collect 90,000 saja? So the credit note 10,000 you mesti upload tu income tax juga. Then you matching. Bila you upload, you bagi tahu what is the original invoice number. So credit note must reduce the value of the original invoice. Mesti mention the original invoice number.
Credit note follows the format for invoice ke?
Follow the invoice number, but the thing is you must mention the original invoice number for them to match. Debit note is to additional charges to the original invoice. Also must mention the invoice, original invoice number. Refund note is, let's say maybe you buat this one, lepas tu you dah cancel, customer say bayar saya. Then you buat refund note, you also must upload the refund note. Basically, you just think income tax wants to know all your income.
Macam certain company, dia punya refund is by using credit note.
Yes.
Should be okay lah, right?
Should be okay lah. Okay, so this is my thing. So dalam sales kita kena buat invoice, credit note, debit note, purchase. So kita think e-invoice tu invoice kan, bukan bill kan. Tapi dalam purchase kita kena buat sebab kita kena buat self bill. Kita kena buat credit note pun ada self bill. Kita kena buat debit note dan refund note dalam purchase.
Tapi for item 12 anti 40 kena dapat approval from supplier lah, betul tak?
Yelah.
Kalau they didn't agree, they can reject it and then we need to submit again lah.
Yeah.
And it happened
Okay saja. You ada software yang okay punya. Yang software you guna okay punya. Saya buat ni okay punya. Niagawan I tak tahu. Niagawan I tak tahu lah.
Sebab niagawan tu banyak lebih for micro SME.
SME. You kena tanya niagawan lah sama dia ready tak lah.
You need to speak to the programmer. But you affect a lot of people.
Ada fahamkan niagawan akan buat, cuma
Belum
tak
buat.
tahu lagi macam mana ni kan.
Tapi kan kalau macam untuk dapatkan approval daripada third party ni, they have like how many days yang diorang ada untuk approve, accept or decline?
72 hours.
72 hours kan?
72 hours
3 days saja.
3 days saja.
Including Saturday, Sunday.
Yes. So Friday punya invoice, Saturday, Sunday, Monday kalau pagi you datang lambat dah 72 hours dah gone
Kalau
dah.
dia tak accept pun jadi.
Then you issue credit note lah.
No, I mean like okay, we issue credit note, supplier tak accept, what happens? LHDN will reject the credit
Tak ada.
note or they simply accept it?
Accept.
Oh.
Dia accept ke?
Accept lah because you got 3 days to reject. You tak reject, I accept lah.
Public holiday raya, tahun original menangis.
Menangis.
Year end menangis.
Kalau gitu semua orang kerja tu 24 hours
Takkan cuti It's not like 72 working days.
Yeah.
72 hours.
Hours.
Hours eh.
Okay, so this is exempted, this income. So employment income, pension income, alimony, distribution of dividend, zakat, contract value of buying securities, disposal asset. This type of income yang terima tu tak payah buat e-invoice lah. Sebab employment income memang dah ada EA form. Pension pun, alimony I think it's just a tax. I mean dia sudah tahu berapa alimony kan, one wife berapa, two wife berapa, so this one. Zakat also is already in the system already. Buying and selling shares, the remisier will do for you. Share also will also do for you lah.
So yang ada share tak terlibat lah begini.
Tak terlibat because the remisier, the broker will do for you. Broker will do for you.
I have a question. What happens when comes rental? Because
Nantilah. Nantilah. Kejap. Ada.
Ada macam ada
Ada.
banyak
baca
ni.
tengok macam okay.
Okay. Penalties.
Oi.
Dia tanya kenapa tak comply? Tak ada comply.
Fail.
$200,000 to $20,000 or imprisonment for term not exceeding 6 months or both.
Habis semua nak jawab dah jawab. Tidak ada 2 years. 2 years yang pertama nanti 2026 kan everybody
Semua
yang
masuk.
macam
Dia akan buat satu case lah macam GST dia buat satu case kan. Jual apa ladies finger tu kena fine berapa. Dia nak satu case saja, lepas tu orang takut lah. Ya.
Penjara tak cukup pun.
Okay.
Kena saman lah. Sure
macam tak teruk sangat macam ni kot. Tapi yang ini lagi
teruk.
This is game changer. Ya, semua orang terlibat.
Macam-macam
Kejam.
Macam orang lain tak tahu. Tapi macam kes kebanyakan kita memang micro SME.
Yalah.
Yang kita terlibat. Dari segi trading ke, dari segi apa ke. Jadi makcik-makcik tu semua kalau ini isu dia memang ada masalah.
You kena ajar dia buat My Invoice portal lah. My Invoice app, dia kena ajar. Okay lah makcik you suruh you punya customer scan. Lepas tu
macam AIM, Mara, semua tu semua.
Yalah.
Kena
Betul. Effect.
You kena buat.
And I think more than 150 is actually satu bulan 10,000 30,000
Tak
times.
sampai pun.
10,000 more
Tak
than
sampai
10,000.
pun. Dia 120. Kalau 120,000 baru 10,000 kan. Jadi lebih kurang less than 20k.
Itu bulan. And 20k is reasonable kan. Sales bukan profit, sales.
Tapi kalau kecil-kecil ni
Self
kadang-kadang
bill
dia
lah.
susah juga.
Kena buat self-bill lah.
Dia tak tahu buat, tak ada. First of all, tak ada komputer. Tak ada. Phone pun tak ada.
Company besar tu kena buat self-bill. Yang
Tak ada. Kalau dia business tu kena buat untuk dia. You tak boleh buat untuk dia sebab dia not exempted unless dia 150 below.
I see.
Sebab kita mengajar untuk mereka ni masuk pasar akal.
Ya, betul.
Untuk dia menjadi membesar. Tapi in between tu dia bukan ada komputer, tak ada itu.
Tak ada.
Benda kan.
Cabaran juga.
Cabaran, betul.
Lepas tu handphone lepas yang lama.
Handphone pun tak boleh terima.
Because dia nak scan. Yalah. Okay. So interim period ada interim. Setiap space ada 6 months interim period kan. So this is the interim period lah untuk January, Jun dengan December. So what can you do during the interim period? Interim period tu you boleh issue consolidate, tak payah buat satu-satu. Jadi boleh kumpulkan, but at the end of the month must do lah. Every month kumpulkan invoice, tak payah buat satu-satu.
Sebelum 7 hari bulan tu kena hantar.
Ya. Okay. And then self-bill semua tak payah buat. Okay. And then you just letak description of product, lepas the invoice number saja.
But that you still need to maintain.
Yalah, mesti maintain lah. Kalau tak ada macam dapat figure.
Nombor tu dapat mana?
The invoice number. Invoice number, you punya invoice number lah. Okay.
Sorry, can you go back?
Ah?
Baca. Sorry.
Tak baca lah. Issue consolidate invoice for all activities. So consolidation. Issue consolidate self-bill. Self-bill tu kena buat juga tapi consolidate sajalah. Self-bill tu maybe untuk all the freelancers, all this you boleh buat consolidate lah dalam masa 6 bulan tu. Lepas 6 bulan tak boleh buat consolidate lagi dah. 6 bulan saja. Lepas tu kena letak the description product, letak invoice number. Tak payah letak what job, tapi invoice number. Okay. And then don't need to issue self-bill individually. Walaupun dia ada parti minta, tak payah. Dia kata I'm on the relaxation period.
Buat masa kini. Until July next year.
And then the last one is very good lah. They will not prosecute. Dalam the 6 months, they will not prosecute lah.
Rotan.
Okay? They will not prosecute. Tak ada certainty. Okay. Okay, any questions so far?
Sudah baca.
Ha?
Baru
Baru modul
modul
1. Baru modul 1. Modul 1 ialah untuk understanding whole thing, overview. Then module 2 kita go through what are the fees, individual fees they require in the invoice. Okay, so we cover individual fields, and then what fields you need for import export, what fields you when you request for invoice, information you require from your customer and supplier, product classification and general tax number.
Yang ni dapat daripada LSDM portal kan?
Yes.
The product classification is MSIG
No,
classification?
each product got a classification. Nanti I
It's
go
a
through.
different
Yes.
classification.
Okay, so now these are the 55 fields, 1 to 55 fields required. The one in yellow optional.
Wait.
Boleh nampak tak?
Mandatory one is the white, right?
The mandatory is white.
Oh, banyak oh.
Supplier name, buyer name, supplier tax number.
No, the number 6 is what?
Number 6 is if you are in the tourism business.
Also can put NA lah.
You put NA lah for you lah. MSIC code. MSIC code mesti sama dengan you punya tax form C ya.
Yeah.
And then supplier activity. So you must describe your activity.
No, follow the MSC.
Description dia lah. Okay. Then your buyer punya TIN number, buyer punya SST number, education number or passport. So ni masuk ada passport tau. Jadi if the individual is an individual, you mesti minta passport number.
No, next time we'll be exchanging. What's your PIN number? What's your SIM number? Ayo. Not just one number, we'll be exchanging PIN number also.
Yeah. Address also important lah.
Address also.
Sorry?
Address also important, mesti letak address. Okay. Contact number mesti ada. Kalau tak ada software tu tak boleh update. I representing software lah, software tak boleh update. Walaupun you masuk dalam my tax poster tak ada address pun dia tak ada accept. Okay. And this is the invoice details lah. Okay, so what I want you do is
Memorize ni.
bukan tulis dalam kertas, put another piece of paper. What you need, you are an employee or the thing, what you need your customer to give you. What information from this, what you think you information. You can go from number 1 to 617. The rest all tak payah, the rest is the invoice details. But yeah, you can mention, just write down piece of paper, what are the things you think you need to give your customer and you need to give your staff the details. Just write down, tulis saja. Go down into customer berapa, supplier berapa, and then your own company punya details apa. In fact, everything is compulsory lah. But I want you to group down into customer, supplier, and your own company.
Just the total numbers or?
Just write down the details lah.
Tulis.
Just break down lah. What? How do I want to break down? Actually, I don't have a piece of paper. Or just additional. I actually want like this. Give you answer already lah. Okay. So basically,
Nanti kita buat lah.
tak payah lah.
Telefon
Ni
lah.
kena buat tadi lah. Tapi actually, I want you to do is, you mesti tahu company name.
Yeah.
Mesti tahu PIN.
Ya.
Mesti tahu registration number, SST number, tourism tax kalau tak ada NA, company email, company MSIC code, company business activity, company address, company contact number. This one, you must give to your staff. The staff bila keluar, ambil bills dari supplier, ambil bill lah, toll lah, parking lah, printing ke apa, mesti letak nama company. Kalau tak ada macam mana dia tahu eja kan? So you must give this to your staff. Letak dalam handphone. So that the staff say, okay saya punya details ini. Kan? So dia dalam handphone, so that the staff bila dia pergi printing ke apa, dia boleh bagi supplier tu, this is my company details. Kalau you ada 2-3 company, mesti bagi 2-3 details. Sebab dia tak tahu you punya sign number. Make chop lah. Make chop tapi dia tak bawa chop tu, saya simpan dalam handphone lah.
Or making QR code.
QR code, they scan and all the details there. Okay?
Boleh.
Ya? 10 details mesti ada. Tadi from the 12 ni I break down into customer. Supplier pun sama, you punya customer pun sama, this information.
I have a question.
Yes.
What happens when staff is claiming benda-benda macam mileage lah, parking apa lah, mileage lah, meal allowance lah.
Nanti ada mileage, meal allowance not so serious. The thing is when you go to outstation, hotel,
hotels, yeah.
they go meals there. So what do you do? So my answer is, don't worry about that first. By 1st July, all have to do right. So Posh and Go sure will do. Toll mesti buat punya. So you don't worry about that.
No. My question is, nanti diorang the bill has to be under company's
Yes,
name or the personal
company's name to the extent possible.
Okay, so meaning my touch and go?
Company's name
Because
lah.
touch and go will be mine lah.
Company name lah.
Company
Maybe
name lah.
maybe that time the Touch and Go will say, oh, you want to claim for company, give me your company details lah. Maybe lah.
Okay.
We don't know what Touch and Go will do because they got until July to do. So we don't worry about that part first. So your worry is my invoice to you. So the supplier give you invoice,
Saya pun income tu bukan lagi tinggi.
dia kena buat lah.
Lebih
You know that bank pun belum buat tau.
Isn't it Tasiko should be the phase 1 punya ni?
I tahu tapi mungkin dia exempted. Bank pun belum buat. Bank surely 100 kan. Bank pun belum buat. Satu bank pun belum buat.
Oh, juga.
Yeah.
Dia
Belum siap.
Relaxation punya period.
Until December lah. Until December lah. Relaxation di December lah.
18 months.
Tak apa, biar dia pun relax dulu.
Dia pun relax.
Relax sikit.
Okay. Dia relax dulu lah. Tapi so my advice to you is don't have to worry about other people because they will have to do. Okay, then by July kita tengok, oh siapa company yang tak bagi kita, then kita call. Kenapa you tak bagi? Saya tak nak, saya nak tutup kedai. Okay. Banyak kedai, banyak orang nak
tutup.
compliance issue lah. Okay.
Is it safe to say macam for example allowance or mileage claim, we need to raise self-billing?
No need. She has to come in. She must put in the employment contract. This person can do allowance contract. Yeah, this person allowance contract.
HR tak?
Itulah. Baru relax sikit tak ada HR punya part.
Nanti ada.
Nak cakap.
You have to come in and put allowance. And all the benefit all must put in the HR. Okay? Okay, so you have to use this for your staff, supplier and service provider. Supply customer, semua information you ask. So customer, supplier say, I don't need to give you MSIC code, tak apa punya. Only you need to give. Customer tak bagi, tak apa. Because they don't need, but if you can give, you keep in the system lah. Okay?
Ini ada satu dua yang tak payah juga lah tu, macam number 7 tu tak perlu.
Number 7 tak perlu. And then
number 8
number 8 kalau 7 tak ada, 8 tak ada lah. And then number 5 pun tak ada lah.
Jadi 5, 7, 8.
So if you know what, you punya supplier kan ada bagi you surat kan, dia akan minta information juga.
All this will be a mandatory field or the
Mandatory field. Your supplier, big supplier, dia akan suruh you fill up kan, dia minta lah.
Dapat banyak lah.
Dapat banyak kan. So what you do is you copy then send to your customer lah, bagi you punya customer.
Jadi kita macam abai kan, tak apa dah kau minta aja dulu.
Sekarang kita ada contoh, dia ambil contoh dan ambil contoh dan bagi you punya customer lah.
What if a company have multiple MSIC code?
Actually, if possible, you look to one because the idea of MSIC code is what? No. If my MSIC code is the same as yours, then our profit margin must be the same.
Ya.
So if your MSIC code, kenapa you punya profit is 50%, kenapa yours 10%? That's where they ask you audit. So that's why MSIC code very important.
But ada certain company have more than one MSIC
So
code.
they take the main one lah.
Or take the main lah.
Take the main one. Okay, or you follow your Form C lah. Form C ada banyak tu
Form C tak perasan. I something or annual return.
One only I think. But maybe main because annual return got subsidiary company.
Yes,
Take the
yes.
company, individual company punya MSIC code. Okay. Okay, so individual buyer just now is corporate. Individual buyer, okay. Non-Malaysian boleh bagi passport. Malaysian boleh bagi IC number. Okay. Non-Malaysian boleh bagi IC number. Kalau ada both boleh tax number and kalau tak ada satu pun boleh. Buyer registration number tak adalah, biasa tak adalah. And then buyer address mesti letak. Kalau tak letak residential address. Kalau dah pindah I tak tahulah. Okay. Then mesti letak contact number. Phone number is a compulsory field. And then ada SST. Then this I summarize into four main summary you must have. You must have dia punya customer individual lah, name, address, contact number, tax number or my card or my tentera identification number. This is Malaysian. Foreigner macam mana
Passport lah.
Passport tak ada bagi, dia illegal. Foreigner illegal mana ada?
Oh, illegal.
Illegal tak boleh tu.
Tapi you employ juga.
Kena bini
Then cannot employ anymore lah.
Correct. That's why they also will face out also cannot illegal anymore lah.
Kita dah tak ada orang tu bekerja macam mana? Boleh jadi parti. Isu yang sama.
Parti yang sama juga
Siapa nak buat kerja tu?
Because yang dangerous, hazardous tu kan.
Siapa nak buat
Siapa nak buat?
3D the 3D or 4D or whatever.
Okay?
Siapa nak buat?
So if you're selling to individual, you must ask this. If they want E-invoice lah, kalau tak, they don't want E-invoice, doesn't matter. If they want E-invoice, you must ask.
This is for individual.
Individual. This one become the product. Just now we see the name of this then one of the item, if you look at this this one. This part just now, number 1 to 17 is the details, customer details lah. Now we are talking about the invoice itself.
Yeah.
In the invoice number, all this, I think the software can do, but this part here, classification. You classify your product according to LHDN punya requirement, not your requirement. So classify the product and describe the product. Okay, so now we go that step. Okay. So if you are selling breastfeeding equipment, the code is 001. You must identify in your product list, 001 is breastfeeding equipment. If you are selling, if you are in the child care center, 002. If you are doing computer, 003. So what does it mean if you look at 003? If I'm selling computer, you come and buy from me, you want E-invoice, I will put the product 003 because I sell computer. So your tax file will have the receipt that I send to you. So you boleh claim tax relief already. Okay? So like say for example, gym membership. If you go gym membership,
need to request the E-invoice lah.
Yes.
Within the same month. Betul tak?
The same month and on the day itself lah,
On the
kalau
day
boleh lah.
itself.
Okay? So if you are selling gym membership 013, so I will put your IC number or your TIN number, then you can go to your tax profile. So you boleh claim your tax relief.
So for individual, let's say I subscribe for gym membership, right? During submission of EA form, I don't need to do anything lah because everything in
Inside there already lah.
They should by right.
But then you must also say, you tak boleh buat gym membership terlalu tinggi juga kan. Banyak gym you buat, I don't know. Because the maximum is what?
Ada maximum.
Maximum pun
250
250. Okay. So consolidate invoice code dia 004. Yang ni construction material. Construction material 005.
So jumping all over.
Jumping all over. This education fees 010. For that means if you are running a kindergarten lah. The kindergarten is here, but this is for higher education punya.
If we are running or if we are
running. So all the private education and all that lah. Because they want to put the parents name so parents can claim the child relief. Okay. Then insurance. Okay. Land and building, medical examination. All these medical one, this hospital will put the code lah. So that if you want to claim your child, you want to claim your medical expenses, then they will put your name, then your file will have this thing. So take note this one, you cannot put one person and then claim by 4 people. Last time you can do that. Now cannot. So you tell the hospital put one name, it will go to your tax file.
You follow IC lah. Cannot redeem.
Okay, unless hospital willing to share the bill lah. Okay. Everybody else, kalau tak ada inside the list, put 022 others. If not covered lah. Something not covered lah. Yours I think not covered. Others lah. Okay. Those car company will put 026. Okay. Car company is also one of the industry that cannot do consolidated. They have to ask for the name. Okay. You beli kecil ke, kancil ke, besar ke apa, kena minta nama orang.
So because of the amount is too big, is it?
No, they want to know who buy cars lah.
Habis.
Second hand ke apa ke.
Memang mereka kan dapat tahu apa. Sebab kita buat,
The dealer
mestilah
must
ada road tax. Betul, mesti kena ada.
Road tax saja, tapi the invoice amount kereta,
You beli banyak kereta.
you beli banyak kereta.
You beli banyak kereta.
So
Then the
sebelum you
source
beli
of
kereta, you kena tengok siapa punya nama nak letak sekarang.
The source of funds. Yeah.
Sekarang pun nak buat macam tu kan.
Tak ada, sekarang at the end of the year baru. Yang you pass a resolution, okay, siapa punya company nak letak. Tapi sekarang beli mesti buat sebab tak boleh tukar lagi.
You decide already. Don't put money.
Okay, books. You nak claim books, you want to go popular bookstore, books, and then you claim. Okay. Then please lah, don't put your children's books there. Don't put lah anything that is not related to books in the bill. Because they also sell many other items sana.
Doraemon tak boleh.
Doraemon tak boleh lah.
Anime semua tak boleh.
Okay. Self bill ada code dia. Self bill untuk foreign income, betting, import of goods,
4D
import
also
services.
can.
So next time 4D kalau kena, mesti dia akan bagi tahu siapa nama siapa.
Oh yo, tak boleh lari yo. The winner all cannot wait.
So you are the agent kan? So the self bill is payment to agent. 29 install EV, electronic vehicle. Charger. You are selling car.
Yeah, EV charger and solar panel.
Then solar panel tak ada lah, this EV charger saja.
Install je.
Install, sell, rental.
Yes, berarti ke EV.
Oh tak ada, you buat ni lah 030 repair maintenance.
The install is actually only for EV, is it?
EV
Yeah.
charging facilities.
Easy.
Kalau
Because
TP
it's,
tak kan?
ah,
Kalau TP.
TP tak ada, 022. Trainer provider.
Oh.
Okay? Fertility equipment, dental equipment semua ada. You see the code now is related to the personal relief.
Ya.
Tu baru nak tanya.
Ah.
Personal aja ni.
Personal. Dia nak tahu lagi personal relief. Senang saja. So,
Banyak yang duit banyak.
personal relief tu dah boleh tahu you punya tax berapa dah.
Or your income, they want to know your income.
Income EA form. This expenses.
Kalau if you claim kan, you claim you beli komputer tu kan.
Tapi receipt tak ada, nama tak ada.
Ada kan.
Dulu sekarang kita boleh claim kan, kita letak saya tak payah buat receipt. Tapi sekarang itu company dah letak nama you.
Company tu nak claim sebagai expenses dia.
Yes. So the source already.
Income.
Income dia
Reported
kan.
already. Next later pun kena.
Okay.
Voucher gift.
Give voucher tak ada. Okay, so kalau setiap Malaysia mesti bagi tax number, TIN. If they don't give, siapa yang tak bagi? General public, that means you want to consolidate. Yang tak nak receipt punya. At the end of the month, on the 7th, kita kena bagi income tax kan. Jadi kita letak dia punya number 0010, kita tak ada nama, tak payah minta nama dia. Tapi dalam file you mesti letak juga lah. Nanti dia kata, macam mana siapa orang ni? Nanti mungkin dia akan tanya siapa orang ni, tak ada letak details ke? You tak payah beritahu saya tapi you mesti keep record juga. Okay. Next is foreign buyer. Kalau orang tu beli dari kita, dia tak ada tax number, kita letak EI20, ending with 20. 9.
Oh, 90.
This is export transaction. When you export to foreigner, you got to put, so you have to do your self-bill. Export foreigner tak payah buat self-bill. Tapi you got to put the tax number E20. Okay. Next is when you buy from foreigner. So it's E30, EI30. Your government kat sini lah. So put the code 040. You have to issue to them aja. But you punya tax number letak 40. Dia if they sell to you, you can take their invoice. Selalu you yang buat kan, e-perolehan. So e-perolehan dia bayar you, bukan you purchase. So bila you kalau invoice pada dia, you letak EI0040 buat invoice bagi biasa. Mesti upload juga ke SHTN.
Kita ambil. Dia tak buat apa-apa.
Tak buat apa-apa lah. Tapi kena upload juga. Dia punya tax number ialah EI40. Government, state government, authority. Dah penat. Macam blur dah. Okay.
No, this is very far-reaching implication.
Yes.
Very far. Oh, the ceruk-ceruk also.
Ceruk-ceruk. Ceruk-ceruk aja. Ceruk-ceruk. Okay, score. This is just an example lah. If they give you TIN but they don't give you IC number. Then you put the registration, the TIN number, you put a 000. All this, if you got a software, you can input one time only. Then you have to put.
Tapi the makcik kia how to get the sini makcik bagi IC. Nanti di makcik kia.
Okay. This one is if they give you registration number but they never give you TIN, then you put the TIN number as 0010, general public. Okay. Sekarang we just take a little bit 5 minutes break.
Okay.
Just
Tengah cari jalan.
Ha?
Tengah cari jalan.
Tengah cari jalan.
Tapi tu macam tak dapat jalan. Dia pusing kat warna pun, dia macam balik.
This was far more reaching than GST. GST, sebab GST you tak payah submit.
Saya kena kena sistem akan
Saya tak boleh pakai
This one pakai LHDN.
Tapi what will happen after this kita dah implement ni, e-invoice ni akan ada ke GST ke SST?
You tanya saya, mesti ada punya.
So maknanya how much is, maknanya cost jadi sangat tinggi tau when you do business.
So mesti benda tu
Sebab semua benda you kena bayar tax di sana, you mesti nak charge you punya client. Nak
Yalah.
cover you punya cost.
Cost lah. The cost is
Kalau kita nak macam GST kita dah 6%, SST 6%, dah tu lah.
tak ada. Kalau ada GST tak ada SST.
tak payah.
Dia kata lah 5% lah kan.
Tapi tu under GST bukan you punya cost.
Tu Takutnya bisa
For
ada
now,
benda
we
yang
are
macam
trying to get
dia
Indirect lah.
sedang fikir juga, kita pun sedang fikir dia akhir kita ni harga akan naik.
End user yang bayar lah.
Sebab mahal juga.
Business tak payah bayar, tapi end user.
I'm like thinking we have to
Toilet break.
Toilet break.
5 minutes toilet break, come back. Next topic, we're going to do the workflow. Then we go into detail. After workflow, we go into detail. The e-invoice, what you're going to put. Then I'll show you a sample from the software lah. Software side.
Actually, what is you punya sincere punya opinion dengan this?
Actually, I think I want to show you one thing. Income tax says this information does not come under PDPA. Okay. They mentioned that it does not come under PDA. So when you come to LHDN, they can share your data.
Bahaya gila.
Bahaya gila. Tapi tak ada orang yang bantah tu. In my opinion lah. That is.
Siapa bantah pun tak
berani
tak
You berani bantah.
Okay, that is mentioned kat sana FAQ. Yeah. This one does not cover under PDPA.
So they can share, katalah within agency definitely lah dia akan share kan. Mungkin keluar pun as
Share with custom, share with PDRM,
yes.
All integrated.
share with custom and immigration, dia boleh share information. Sebab it's mentioned that it is not covered under PDPA. Mention.
So
Mention.
that means they can tangkap you when you want to flee the country at the airport also.
Now they can lah, but now they get information very late. But now it will be almost instantly.
No, now
It's kan real time.
Real time. It is good for the government because they can collect more tax
and fast.
and faster. But the PDPA, I very worry. Nobody mention about the PDPA. Sekarang I oh PDPA, tak ada PDPA.
Everything clear kat situ.
No, I don't think PDPA no longer applicable. But Malaysia is going to digitalize punya ni, right?
So, that means open lah.
Open.
Semua macam tu.
Tak adalah semua kata. Only certain parties saja boleh.
Tapi this one mention here, PDPA not covered.
Yeah, kita cakap only certain parties. Which is, for now, LHDN and MDEC lah. Tapi I don't think they can disclose to other party lah.
They can disclose among the LHDN government ni lah. No, they can disclose to immigration
Immigration?
because they say PDPA does not apply for the information they receive. Okay?
Maybe not commercial lah, but government.
Government lah.
Government lah, they have every right lah. Let's give it this way. Okay,
Okay, now module 3. Okay, module 3, we will show you the workflow. Okay, then we will show you what are the steps to upload to LHDN. And then, okay, issuance of e-invoice, overview of the e-invoice issuance, sama tapi what is being validated. Okay, you go to income tax, what is being validated. Okay, first of all now, okay, when you want to do an invoice to your customer, first thing is ask them, when a sale or transaction is made, include invoice, the supplier creates an e-invoice and go to My Invoice Portal API. That means immediately either log into My Invoice Portal or using your software, enter the details. Then send to income tax, LHDN for validation. Belum send to customer tau, send to validation. Okay, send to validation, the income tax will give you a new unique number and a QR code. Okay, the unique number and QR code, after that, income tax will also notify both party. Notify you, sudah send, notify the other party, dalam you punya email, ada invoice. So, if you don't complain within 72 hours, you can share the invoice to your supplier. Okay, so the next question we want is, okay, within 72 hours, you boleh cancel or reject. Yeah, then if kalau tak ada cancel reject, they will save into the My Invoice Portal. Then you can use the receipt to claim your tax, can file together with your tax. Okay, so next time, start with this, send to validate first, before give customer. Customer number 4, but you go to income tax first. Okay, next. Okay, these are the actual steps that you need to do. This is a computer way of doing lah. So they tell you first option, you go here, then go to LHDN. Then LHDN approve, come back to you, say okay, ready. Tax, if you got rejection, You got rejection, number 4, you can share. After that, you got no rejection, you can share. If they say want to cancel, you cancel. Then after that, go back again, the process again, cancel. Then kalau dah habis, then you go and store into LHDN cloud, LHDN database. They stay for 7 years. They save the data. But it doesn't mean tak semestinya you cannot keep, you must keep your own backup juga. Dia sana save only a certain information. Nanti I show you what information they keep saja. Dia tak keep details lah. Mungkin keep details lah, tapi dia tunjuk kita apa dia save lah.
Tak nak takut. Suruh masuk dia dulu.
Okay, so that new era. What is the new era? First thing people want to buy, you want e-invoice or not? You want e-invoice? Give me your details. I submit to LHDN. Validate. Give you a QR code. You can fill a receipt. All these things will be done within 1 second. After you upload, within 1 second or 2 seconds, you will get the QR code. If you don't want e-invoice, okay, I give you normal handwritten ke apa ke, but you cannot claim tax. But I have to end on month, consolidate and give to you. But if you say I don't want, I can come back and request for invoice, I have to give you the invoice. Within the same month, you kata tak nak kan, I will have to come back. If you say one, then I have to do this again. So now, want e-invoice or not? Tak nak? Okay, biasa. Don't come back. Want to come back within 3 days, please? Okay. Sometimes, like the POS system, they don't have a software. So what they do is, at the point of do a sales, they can say, okay, you get the e-invoice when you go back. You log into my portal, online web, and then from the web, you put the details, you get the e-invoice. Macam, see a few companies sudah buat macam itulah. Okay? Or, you can go POS system. This one here is my invoice sudah keluar. This one sudah keluar. You go and download from Google App atau iOS. Dah keluar, tapi a lot of people say tak boleh guna sekarang. I don't know why. Because I belum buat lagi lah. Okay, but you can buy invoice, so makcik-makcik all will be taught lah later how to do this my invoice portal. Okay, then this one, yes, kalau at the point of sale, kalau tak nak, you can actually, after that, ask for online portal after the sale lah. I got mobile app issued already. Just that I installed, but a lot of people say install, so working, not working. Pula. Okay, what is being validated? In detail, what they validate is they validate all the 55 characters. Make sure they follow the format, mesti ada 20 characters ke, ada ke apa, mesti make sure. Lepas tu, make sure they check your date, signature. Okay, because signature, why? Because you are submitting on behalf of a company. So if you are using software, there will be you need to buy a digital certificate to show that valid for me. Okay? If you go directly to income tax, tak payah buy digital certificate. But if you do a software, the software must have a digital certificate to show that I am sending to income tax using this certificate. Okay? So some people pay the digital certificate by themselves. Some use the software that is done by the HQ. Okay? Then they will check whether got duplicate invoice tak. Credit note, debit note, must make sure they duplicate invoice number, code. This one is just to let you read lah what is information. So make sure that you don't, make sure all the 55 characters ada lah. That's all only. Okay, that one was very short, just to tell you how to upload only. How to upload, you either use the My Tax portal or use your software. Software key in, upload. Okay, so now I'm going to go through another 15 sets of situations. Okay, it's important that you need to know because your rental is there.
Yeah, number 6.
Very excited already.
Suruh bangun.
Okay, your staff proceed also number 7.
Oh,
8. Agent, sampai tanya pasal agent. Foreign purchase, you got foreign purchase tak? Foreign purchase, foreign income, foreign purchase, foreign seller. E-commerce, okay, e-commerce you think not important to you, but the thing is, it may be affect you as a personal. Sekarang you jual jewelry kat e-commerce, you tak ada record kan? Tapi next time, e-commerce will record for you. Beli barang tak apa, jual barang.
Oh, jual barang.
So a lot of people sell on the jual barang kat Lazada, Shopee mah, reseller. So sekarang you think, I tak nak record tak apa, tak ada orang tahu. Tapi sekarang, the e-commerce company must record for you. That's why I just want to explain to you what they will do. So jangan say, I don't want to record the expenses. The income.
Then penalty will come.
Okay, then we'll tell you what is the format of the thing lah. Okay, this is the detail.
This is the
When to issue consolidate invoice. When the supplier don't need invoice from you. Okay, they say I don't want invoice, so at the end of the month you kumpul and buat satu consolidate. Okay, but the consolidated invoice serves as a proof of income. Okay, but this is the format. The format is you must list down the summary of each receipt presented as a separate line, or separate line, branches and location can separate on your own. But at the side there, the receipt reference for each transaction must be required. Means you must put down invoice number. Okay, I will show you the format. Okay, the format is like this. This one here general public. Okay, but you see the invoice number 1, 1, 10, 10, 12, then break 13 is missing, then 14, then 16, 20. So in between missing means you are doing the e-invoice punya lah. This is a consolidated invoice, but you just put in the total saja. Quantity 1. Okay.
Chef, billing boleh under consolidated?
Saya billing boleh ada. Certain industry boleh.
Macam untuk foreign
Tak boleh.
Tak boleh.
Only individual saja. Okay. So ada unique number. This is a digital certificate lah. This is to signify siapa yang hantar, the date and time. And then on the right hand side ada e-invoice, the document number, the unique number juga, original invoice, payment code, QR code. Okay, this is the invoice that will be issued. Sample.
Wait, what is the validation?
Validation here,
Oh, okay, digital signature.
time, what date and what time.
Okay. Family Mart got lah.
Yeah.
I saw. The
Yeah.
report also got.
Date and time validation given by Malaysian portal?
Yes, Malaysian portal.
IRD. Oh, jangan
So your invoice when you want to send to customer, you must have all this lah.
Jangan main.
So when we log in, we get the digital signature pin number lah.
Ah.
So when we upload, then that where the times and date come from lah.
Yes. He's asking from a IT viewpoint, so I must answer. But actually, I do a lot of training for IT also. Both IT will ask IT punya question, accounts will ask accounts punya question. So I got to say, oh, IT punya question.
IT coding yang pandai mah.
I work with both.
Okay.
Dia pandai mah.
Okay, this is consolidation. Lazada banyak invoice kan. So before that, they say everybody want invoice ni. Sekarang they say, banyak boleh. Lazada thousands of thousands. So now they say limit per submission 5 megabyte per submission, or maximum 100 invoice, or maximum size 300 KB per invoice. Ada limit. That means to say you boleh hantar a few times lah. By the 7 you can do a few times lah. But I tell you, Lazada and Shopee, they will send every day. They won't send every day.
They will email also every day.
They don't have to wait until consolidate. They just send every day only.
They automated it already mah.
Yeah, so send aja.
Jadi banyak beli barang.
Then after you can QR code ready lah for the.
QR code belum.
Yeah. Okay. These industries cannot do consolidation. That means these industries must issue invoice. Car industry, individually, you must ask who is the owner, buyer. Okay. So if the company wants to buy, they cannot put simply another person's name. Okay. Air ticket also. In future, you cannot buy on behalf of your family members couple, because they will put all this into your name. Say, wow, you travel a lot now. How come you can travel so much? But actually, you are sharing family members. So each one should buy their own. If not, you'll be under your tax file.
No, macam mana? That means you cannot buy like 2 tickets to the same destination.
No, you can buy, but it's just that income tax will say, why you got so much money to buy? You go to Europe, each ticket is let's say 5,000, you buy 30,000. Wow, ada duit, so they look at your income level, whether you can afford that or not lah. I mean, it will cost a lot of queries lah. Okay?
Nak selamat travel dalam Malaysia je lah.
Selamat sangat kalau lepas query tu.
Query tu.
Biasa tak selamat.
Okay. This one here, luxury goods and jewelry,
Apa itu luxury good definition?
handbag, couple ke. Tapi that's why they cannot define. That's why they cannot define. That's why they say now put on hold.
Oh, okay.
So these people now they can do consolidate invoice.
So dia beli dulu.
They can enjoy buying.
They enjoy first.
My customer is in this range, you know. Yesterday I went to say, wow, luckily but then in future how because their socks is 600 ringgit. I say people want $6, you're selling $600. But still the person don't want to tell you. Who want to tell you I buy $600 socks?
Betul? It's a personal thing, right?
It's a personal thing. But the thing sometimes they buy socks for gifts.
No, for I think winter clothing ke apa.
600. I said, your socks 600.
Bulan punya tak ada lah.
RM56 pun I bising.
This 600.
Ini 600 per pair.
Okay. Okay. So that's why this is put on hold until when we don't know. Their customers so happy they put on hold, but they say they got to prepare when they have to do lah. Because their buyers don't want to tell. The buyers are all the high-end income. So if they have to tell, they will go Singapore and buy.
Yes, betul isu dia.
Ah.
Orang membeli di luar negara.
Di luar negara.
So sekarang ekonomi akan pergi ke luar negara.
Ya, betul.
Betul.
But kereta tak boleh lah sebab kereta what they use here lah. But this one here, this one they will go overseas. So the tourists will not come here also.
Betul, mati.
Tourists will also have to give lah. Yalah.
Just imagine kalau kita buat apa tu turis punya apa tu
Tax.
ni apa kementerian punya apa apa tu hari yang tahun melawat Malaysia contoh. Ini
semua datang beli barang.
sangkut lah kan.
Sangkut lah.
Tak nak datang.
Kan ada isu ni.
Pasal the issue. Banyak tourist, all the big shopping centers lah.
Very big issue.
Okay.
So akan effect lah contoh kita sibuk nak kembangkan songket Malaysia. So songket tu
Yalah. That's why this one, when I did the demo 1 year ago, he said, wow, my customers should not buy one. Then after that, he said, oh, carry on hold. Because that time it's not on hold, no, it's actual one. Then a few months later, they put on hold. Because the people make noise lah. The tourism industry make noise lah.
No, because if they define based on ringgit value, it's not fair.
Because I put 999 instead of 10,000, I put 999.
Betul, dia kata 5,000, I put for 999. Dan deal. Semua. Then what if it's luxury goods normal price, then during sale I put it below the threshold. Then
So quite difficult lah.
difficult.
So they have to come up with something really. Okay. This one, never mind. Construction is also very important. All the construction company cannot hide, cannot put a veil in their invoice. That means they must let the who are developing the construction for lah. The private house, the bungalows and all that lah. Okay. And the most affected is this one, wholesalers and retailers of construction material. All the hardware shop, as long as they sell construction materials, regardless of volume sold, as long as it's under Lembaga Pembangunan Industri Pembinaan Malaysia Act 1994, the item, they do disclose. Cement is one thing. Cement is how much? I don't know. Cement is $12. $12.
Satu beg dulu RM18, sekarang RM32.
Okay, tapi you kena tahu, kena bagi nama nak beli cement. Pagi-pagi orang tu line up nak beli the boss, kena bagi simen. Nama siapa? Bagi. Sebab this come under this. Construction material.
Ada soalan. So contoh macam construction company, dia punya revenue is based on milestone. Ada milestone 1, 2, 3.
You can follow the same.
So e-invoice contoh macam 20k, tapi dia dapat advance payment of 70k. Yang tu macam mana pula?
70k ada deposit punya. Kalau deposit tu refundable, tak payah buat e-invoice. Beli when you do the milestone, then you buat the e-invoice untuk milestone lah.
So when you record the deposit?
Buat macam biasalah, buat dalam asset lah. Tak payah buat sebagai income lah.
Tak payah raise e-invoice
Tak payah raise
lah.
e-invoice.
Okay.
Bila buat invoice saja, bila you actually buy the invoice, then
recognize the revenue
baru you buat. Ya. Okay, this one lah. Siapa yang ada customer ni? Teruk.
Sorry, back to that question. So the counterparty, bila kita recognize as our income, they need to recognize as their costs lah.
Doesn't matter, but as long as we do the invoice for them, they need to claim.
So let's say if they also need to do e-invoice, so they will do on the same month, is it?
They don't have to do invoice, they just take your invoice only. They recognize income.
Okay.
They just waiting for your invoice to come and then they say, okay, this amount I got claim for expense.
I see.
They're waiting for you to reissue only. So but when they issue you a 70,000 deposit, you say, I'm not going to issue because this is a refundable deposit. I don't have to do e-invoice. But when I bill you for the milestone, I do e-invoice for you. So whether you want to recognize it's income ke expenses, that is your accounting entry. But for me, I'm recognizing as income when I issue the invoice.
So the person who need to initiate the creation of e-invoice is supplier lah. If they don't want, then the customer will, the counterparty will raise self-bill.
Cannot. If you're running a business, you cannot issue.
They must lah.
They must. It's a must that I have to issue. Whether I'm running a business, I don't want or not, I have to issue. If not, you cannot get claim expenses, you won't buy for me.
So supplier lah yang have this.
Yeah, the responsibility is supplier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, license, betting and payment to agent. So payment to agent cannot do consolidate. That means every time you pay an agent, you have to put a name. You have to collect the name. You ada banyak agent ya? Must put ada nama lah. Okay. Then certain industries boleh buat self-bill. Self-bill maknanya their expenses orang tu tak boleh buat bill kita, invoice pada kita. So kita kena buat self-bill. Okay. But only this industries only kena buat. Agent, dealers kita buat, Goods sold to foreign suppliers kita buat sebab dia tak boleh buat. Dia tak buat. Profit distribution, dividend, e-commerce. So e-commerce kan bukan orang tu yang buat, e-commerce yang buat untuk semua. Okay. Payout betting, transaction with individuals. So transaction individuals we have to do self-bid.
Dia banyak waste pasal betting.
Oh, because betting is a one of the avenue for capital apa? Tax capital gains Because let's say for example, how you got so much revenue to pay for your purchase. I got win 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 40 million. So last time what people do is they beli dari orang. Siapa yang siapa yang dapat 30 million, beli dari I bagi you $5 million, you bagi the receipt. So I can claim I menang lottery. Tapi sekarang menang lottery on the spot mesti letak nama. Dulu tak payah letak nama. Ada asalkan ada check I bagi you, you menang.
So the 4D shop also will declare.
Yes, correct. 4D shop also declare. Even you win a small amount, so they will start declaring already.
So another question, sorry banyak lah soalan.
Boleh, tak apa.
Self-bill, let's say we are raising for our foreign company punya supplier, right? Macam dia orang ada certain company yang I've been dealing with don't have the business registration number or PIN number.
Foreigner tak payah.
So just put general lah yang tadi bagi nama.
Company name, address, and then because they also given you the invoice already, so you just follow the invoice. The only thing they invoice dia tak masuk dekat income tax, so now your responsibility is to put into income tax your expenses.
Okay.
Then after that, up to them to go after them lah. Okay. Then interest payment. So interest payment, the bank's interest that the bank will do. Although you receive income, your FD income ke company FD income, although income must do, right? But now they make the bank is the responsible to do the invoice for you. Self-bill invoice. They pay, they issue. Okay. And then supplier is issued. Last is claim compensation for insurance business. Okay. This is how a self-bill will look like. The self-bill, if you got foreigners, you have to do, you ada buat SST on imported services tak? Mesti buat withholding tax is one thing, SST on imported services so another thing. So now they make you put inside here. Although you only pay 200,000 to the supplier, but you got to pay service tax, you got to put inside here. This one also a way for income tax to share information with service tax department. They come after you that why you never pay service tax. Okay, a lot of my clients now ask them, no lah, I pay withholding tax. I say, no, but you got to pay service tax. They are not aware. So got to pay service tax. Okay, just now you ask self-bill. Self-bill can do consolidate, can if you pay to individuals. Okay, example lah, let's say for example you're running a recycling business. So everybody they collect the tin lah, the cardboard, they come and sell to you. So actually they are for individuals. So takkan you not give self-bill to everybody. So you can consolidate at the end of the month and just put one money. Because that one is actually cash business on that one. I do recycling, this cash business, so you just consolidate. So they make a exemption. But after a while, if they look at the amount that you submit, then they come after you lah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So even consolidated depends on the amount lah.
No, I'm not saying the amount, but once they see this, your consolidate every month is 100,000, 200,000. They say who you pay because this is avenue for you are not going to declare the person's name, the amount. So they will say, can you please give me a list of who you pay to?
I see.
They'll come after you lah. They cannot come after that person. They come after you. So you have to provide information. So make sure your information is you have the information, at least the phone number, the name, everything lah. If the phone number not valid, also I don't know what happened, but you must cover yourself lah.
So like my
dia reason dia nak tengok orang tu.
Yeah.
Sebenarnya.
So you're using you.
Orang tengah. Kalau tidak macam sekarang ni kita macam whistleblower dia cik.
Whistleblower tak ada
terang-terang punya whistleblower.
Whistleblower terang-terang.
Dia deal with a lot of B2C.
Okay.
B2C
So tapi amount besar macam 20,000, 30,000. So this one better not use the consolidated, use e-invoice.
Cannot.
One bill is 20,000 mesti jual lah. Nanti you comment lah.
You sekali you 8 yang.
Hari-hari kita jumpa dah.
Nanti dia bagi. Tapi you janganlah.
Yalah.
Kena jawab fikir.
Kalau
Kalau 20k per invoice 5 orang dah 1 million.
Tak.
100,000. Tapi kalau benda tu seminggu 100,000. Kalau 4 minggu
Memang confirm more than 1 million lah.
Dan dia sangkut punya
You buat the solar panel lah. So you must ask lah. Kita buat.
We have the detail lah, but when they sign the agreement, have the detail.
Tapi mesti minta tax number now.
Tax number aja lah.
Masa sign tu tak minta tax number.
So sekarang kita buat tax number.
PIN, address semua.
Apa tadi yang you suruh tadi tu lah? At least 7 tu memang
1 to
confirm
7.
mesti
Tax
kena ada,
number
kan?
lah mesti.
Okay, consolidated self-bill can submit to RHB within 7 days.
Itu yang letih.
Pening. You ingat senang.
Rental for individual landlord. If it's a corporate landlord, the person have to do. Kan, if you are doing your rental, I rent a place, so you have to give me an invoice.
Pasal-pasal aku nak pusing.
Ah.
Dia nak tolong terima.
Okay, tapi kalau individual, your landlord is individual, dia kata I tak payah buat, you buat untuk dia sebab you kena buat self bill. Okay, and then if the bill is in, sometimes orang tak tukar telephone number pun, apa, electricity, water tak tukar nama pun, in that person's name, you also kena buat untuk dia.
So that means we have to create invoice and we pass to the tenant and they will.
No, you can do LHDN.
No, I'm the owner now. For example, I'm
You're the owner.
So there's a tenant.
Your owner Sdn Bhd or individual?
Individual.
So the tenant is individual?
Yes.
Then no need lah.
So then no need, meaning
No need to do any invoice.
So but she's paying. I mean, the tenant will be paying for me.
Because individual to individual, no need to do e-invoice.
No benefit for the tenant lah. Kalau ada benefit the tenant, dia akan request.
If the tenant is a Sdn Bhd who needs to claim expenses, then you have to do for them. Tapi,
dia kan taxpayer.
that's why the next question is,
nak tolak dia punya dalam yang selepas.
that's why kalau nak letak, kalau dia report lah, kalau tak report tak adalah pelapasan.
But then it will be an expense.
Tak ada.
It will be how to say
Go expenses
income
lah.
lah for me.
Your income.
Right?
Yeah, but individual, because you're prepare exempted, not individual, so you can use that clause to say exempted. But you have to do when you do the tax filing, you just do as normal tax filing lah. So nobody is going to report for you.
Okay.
So
she.
let's say kalau macam you punya tenant boleh dapat tax exempted from the rental, dia akan report, then you
You
kena.
kena.
Kalau you tak report, you punya cancel.
You
Kan whistleblower tadi nak cari siapa?
Ah.
Orangnya.
Maybe you don't report every month. Every report your rental income.
Report. If dia dapat exemption, dia akan start report, you pun kena start report.
Actually the word is not report. Dia memang
Kita buat declare.
Dia
Because you probably report your income. Tapi if you don't record income, I will report for you. Because I need to get it tax deducted.
Got expenses.
Yeah,
It's your declaration.
It's my expenses.
Declare.
But if I individual, the government won't know. But ultimately, they will know somehow lah.
Because it will be your expenses, so you will record. Then if
If
I will record, it will.
Yeah. Okay? So tenants need to issue self-bill invoices for rental with multiple landlords who are not conducting business. This is terrible. Satu lot ni kata, saya bagi 3 orang lah, 3 adik-beradik lah. Then you do invoice untuk 3 adik-beradik. So sekarang kalau ada macam tu, bagi saya benda dengan satu nama saya, tak nak 3, kalau tak ada saya kena buat 3 kali. Okay? And then you punya individual receipt pun, you punya water, electricity, kalau boleh tukar nama company. Jangan buat landlord punya nama dah.
Everything has to be updated lah, in other words lah. IWK, tenaga.
Everything tenaga all must be updated to your company name. So you don't have to do lah, because then Syabas will issue to your company name. Kalau tak ada issue that name, then you have to do self-bill for that person.
So dalam kes macam let's say intercompany, so company A yang rent dengan landlord, then company A charge company B.
Kena buat e-invoice.
Siapa kena buat?
Semua. So A dengan landlord kena, betul tak?
Then A kena sublet to B, then A kena buat e-invoice to B lah.
A kena e-invoice to B, landlord kena e-invoice to A.
Tapi kalau landlord tu bukan syarikat,
Then you buat untuk dia.
Kena self bill lah.
Kena self-bill lah.
kan?
Okay, so sekarang kan ada masa untuk you tengok you punya expense item, mana satu akan bagi, mana satu tak akan bagi. Then you kena filter out lah sama ada you nak continue buying from that person or not lah. Kalau tak ada, you kena buat self-bill. Banyak. Saya got one client lah, they got a lot of self-bill because there are a lot of freelancers. So she say, wow, how I say, okay, then you teach them, use my invoice tab lah.
Let them do themselves lah.
Teach them how to do that, then at least they can issue invoice. Because individual pun boleh buat invoice, boleh invoice juga. Walaupun you tak ada business, tak ada SSM, you boleh buat invoice juga. Okay. Employment. Okay, these are the benefits that you receive. HR. Okay, parking fees and car maintenance charges. Club membership, gym membership, professional subscription, allowances, everything. So all these things, especially parking fees, club membership, gym lah, all these fees kalau boleh, employees are required to request for e-invoice to be issued in the name of the employer for proof expenses to the extent possible.
So
Okay.
what? The
If
allowance,
meal allowance, just payment voucher lah.
or payment voucher.
Okay. But they have got a concession. If you cannot get in your company's name, you can put in your name the concession to support approved expenses. This exception will only be applicable if the requisites and benefits are clearly stated in the employment policy.
The contract lah has to
Ah.
be very clear.
Yes. So to revise your contract.
So meaning, let me just re-explain back. So for example, let's take about gym membership lah. So let's say company covers that. I mean, it's a benefit that company gives. So for example, Hafiz is claiming. It can be either under company's name or his name.
Yes.
But if it's his name, my policy have to be very clear lah.
Yes. That he can claim lah. Yeah. If possible, put in the company's name. Easier. No question asked.
No, very clear cut.
No question asked.
Tapi okay, see toll rate and all that, how?
Toll, I think they will come up with something like maybe they ask you to apply for,
Touch and go.
maybe they'll ask you to apply for company card ke atau
I think Shopee now already have this option now when you request for e-invoice. They will ask you whether you want on your name or company name.
Yes.
They already have that option.
Yeah.
So maybe I assume
Maybe
Toll
this also
ke-
also do that.
Come to that lah. Come to that.
when you apply for touch and go card, they'll ask you whether company.
card lah. Maybe the touch and go one.
Okay. Businesses will be allowed to use the e-invoice issued in the name of the employee or existing supporting documents. I will accept and then if you go overseas, also same thing. Because overseas we not want to issue in employer name. I want to see your passport.
Yeah.
So, but provided you must mention in the employer policy when they go overseas, they can claim such and such as that. Make sure you cover everything. So you don't need to include self-billed invoice. So a lot of people make noise on these allowances. So they come up and say, okay, you don't need to make noise. You just give you what? Because anyway, allowances on this not that much lah. I mean, this staff claim not much. It's the big claim that they want.
No, it's the bigger companies.
Ah.
The allowance a lot. Small one. I think
But
it's-
tell you bigger car, should ask you to extend put in the company's name. No questions asked. Put in the no question asked.
Senang.
This is the benefits. The next slide is on expenses incurred. For example, accommodation, toll, mileage, parking, telephone, expenses incurred foreign company. So it's also the same thing. If possible, put in employer's name to the extent possible.
I have a question.
Yes.
When I'm looking at mileage, because I think the rest you can somehow get in invoice.
Yeah, correct.
Mileage is something that you're claiming without a receipt.
Yeah,
Okay,
correct.
because I'm driving, I'm claiming based on kilometers. So how do I do that?
As long as you put it in your
Policy.
policy that you can claim.
Meaning
Mana,
employment contract.
Contract lah.
This exception only applicable if the employer is about to prove that the employee is acting on the employer's behalf in incurring expenses. So you must make sure in the employment contract lah.
They very clear cut.
Because I think you do allowance, they only specify how many allowance and the maximum how much. So you must be the clear cut lah.
This one not necessarily have to be in contract, right? Can be a policy that company applies.
Yeah, can be a policy.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because then
a general
contract
policy lah.
banyak kot.
Yeah.
A general policy lah.
Dia banyak dah benda.
Itulah
Dia buat.
Dia punya term lah worry ya.
Dia punya employment letter very long already dah.
So covered Okay, next one is agent. Okay, let's say for agent this is let's say insurance lah. Okay, this is the insurance company and this is the person who invests by insurance. So there's an agent here. So normally seller will issue the invoice normally in the purchase name, and this person just collect money only on the person last time lah. Okay, now no more already lah. But some industries also got so. Okay, so if they collect so when they sell to so this one will be receiving commission. So this person will have to do e-invoice to this person. And when this person do this, collect money, you don't do anything. You just pass back to the not party lah. So seller will issue the invoice to the purchaser. Where purchaser does not require invoice, the seller will issue a normal receipt. Subsequently, seller is required to issue consolidated invoice. And then for commission, this one pay commission, you do a invoice. Hey, this one is self-billed. Because commission owned by this person, owned by the agent, but then agent don't need to do it because the seller is the one who will do. Because this is the kind where seller is responsible to issue. Because assuming the agent doesn't know how much commission he get. So that's why they make it the responsibility.
Cannot lari already, you know.
Sometimes you don't know if you let's say for example, so
Very clear cut man.
now they make sure the
The
seller is the one who issue lah. They make the responsibility of the seller. Because the seller wants to claim the expenses. So the seller has to do,
That applies for multi-level,
yes,
everything.
everything lah.
Okay.
As long as an agent.
No, that means those sellers who do not have, how to say, a very clear commission statement, they have to.
Yes, correct. Those who don't have a clear commission statement,
calculate all.
because the agent sometimes depend on the how much they give me only. So that's why the seller
different rates,
different rates lah. Okay.
Always cannot like this one.
Seller will pay commission to the agent. Seller is required to issue self-billed e-invoice. Self-billed because it's the expenses. Okay, so not everything can do self-billed, not everything can do consolidated. So we have to follow.
Yeah.
Now we're selling to foreign. When sell to foreign, your duty is to issue invoice only. So whether they want the invoice with the QR code or not doesn't matter, but you will have to do income tax. That's your responsibility lah. Okay, Malaysian seller is required to issue e-invoice.
Maybe to the Bangla.
No, this is be China company,
Oh,
Tapao, or whatever you buy from overseas lah, directly to Malaysia. Okay,
We sell.
we sell. Okay, no, but because they are not in the system, we don't need to get the email, so they will not get the email to say that there's an invoice there. So that means they cannot cancel within 3 days.
Oh.
Because other Malaysian one can cancel within 3 days, they cannot cancel because they are not in the system, they are not in the loop.
But what happens in case during the process suddenly we have to give credit note to someone to we continue our process tu macam mana?
You continue your process lah.
So they won't do, there's one set of information.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, foreign purchaser, that means is the definition they do not pay income tax in Malaysia, right? That's what it means, is it?
Sorry.
It's not a Malaysian tax resident.
Malaysian, not Malaysian tax resident lah.
Individual.
Okay, so for the foreign purchaser, it's business as usual. The person buy business as usual, I just sell to you, I give you a normal invoice lah. So I can give you an invoice with QR code or not without QR, but my responsibility is to submit to income tax. Now you ask me when to submit. Okay, after we'll tell you, this is okay. Next one is buying. Buying from foreign. When you buy from foreigner, you will have to do on their behalf. So whether buy or sell, you have to do. Buy as normal. Sell also you have to do, and that's called self bill. Buy also you have to do because you do self bill. When you sell online, if it's Malaysian, Lazada and Shopee will do, but TikTok you have to do lah. I think TikTok is
No, but
China
then you
based.
see some of the companies, Lazada, Shopee is from China one.
Lazada, Shopee will do for you lah.
They will do, I see.
Unless you buy directly from TikTok lah, or you buy directly from whatever other platform lah. Okay, so foreign seller sells to goods to Malaysian. The foreign supplier don't have to follow Malaysian rules, but you get because you need to get your expense deduction. You have to issue. Malaysian purchaser is then required to issue a self-bill to document expenses for acquiring the goods and services from the non-Malaysian supplier. Okay. Okay, now when to issue all this thing? They are called rulings. Okay, the ruling is for importation of goods, you must declare at the end of the month following the customs clearance date. So customs clearance today, you can do at the end of December to submit your e-invoice. Because sometimes you need to customs clearance, you need to make payment, you need to whatever. Okay, but with services, you can do when you make payment or when you receive the invoice, whichever is earlier. This one is very thing, whichever is earlier. You can make the payment earlier, so without the invoice, you have to do the e-invoice already. Or when you receive the invoice, you have to submit to income tax. But it's 1 month after lah, so you still got time lah. Okay? Where service tax or imported taxable service is applicable, you must do that. So you must make sure your services, you pay service tax. Okay, for example, why they ask you? Because the reason is, because why you buy from overseas when Malaysia can do, why you want to buy from overseas? So because you buy from overseas, I make you pay service tax. Yeah? Okay, so this is service tax. Foreign income, any foreign income. So any of your anak-anak got YouTube income, got Google income, the TikTok income, they have to volunteer the information to LHDN. So all the influencers cannot run already. All the influencers they got all this income they cannot run away because you have to declare. Don't declare, they penalize. Okay? Foreign income lah. TikTok, YouTube is foreign income. TikTok also foreign income. TikTok, whatever TikTok pay you also foreign income. So if they don't declare, you have to declare. So you must look at the invoice so whether they declare or not, whether they give you a QR code. Maybe by that time YouTube will form a Malaysian company. If not, tak ada lah. You have to do lah.
I think eventually they have to
Okay.
move towards that.
The income recipient should issue the invoice latest by the end of the month following the month of receipt of the said foreign income. Okay, banks, okay, the other thing is you think, oh, I don't want to do, but now banks will be mandated, if you don't give me invoice, I don't want to release the fund. So they make bank the gatekeeper now also. They may lah.
Sure one.
Yeah. Okay. E-commerce. Okay. So e-commerce, if you're not running e-commerce, I'm not interested in me. But the thing is, you may sell on e-commerce. You may sell your clothes lah, pre-loved clothes on e-commerce. So those time you never declare. But now, e-commerce will declare for you. Okay. So the e-commerce provider has issued 4 types of invoice. First, when you sell to purchaser, they have to issue an invoice to purchaser. If the purchaser, you want to have an e-invoice, they have to issue invoice. Because let's say I'm running a business, I buy stationery from there, I want e-invoice, e-commerce must issue an e-invoice to me. If I don't want to have e-invoice, then they do consolidate at the end of the month. Okay? Then after that, the merchant who put the things inside there, the merchant earns an income. So they have to pay the merchant the cost. So they have to issue the sub-bill to the merchant. And the runners, the van, the delivery van, everything, also the e-commerce got to pay. And then when you put your things on the platform, they also charge you, then we issue you invoice. So all these things will be done by the e-commerce. So if you come under this step, they will already inform LHDN that you already this step. Sorry. If you put the goods on the e-commerce, LHDN already know you got a sale already. Sikit ke banyak ke dia tahu you ada sale already. Okay? E-commerce pun tak boleh lari because they know a lot of people selling goods on e-commerce. Deposits, come back to deposits. So if you receive deposit, if it's a refundable, normal receipt. If it's non-refundable, you issue e-invoice. Normally, we can call it normal receipt lah because it's deducted from sales. So you can just...
You also have to issue this, right? So kita collect deposit kan? This is for every single deposit we take lah.
Yes, every single deposit. Okay, another break. You need another break? 5 minutes, just a quick one. Guys, because this part here is implementation changes, then after that I do some activity.
We have a mini module.
Ni last one.
Okay.
Ni last one, ada activity lah. Lepas tu I ask question. Any other question that you have? I stop for 5 minutes. Drink coffee.
Sudah sejuk.
Suara kuat. ya, 5.30. Okay. Ini modul sekejap saja, lepas tu.
Macam mana?
That's what the handphone is.
So this e-invoice doesn't concern about when they will be paid lah, right? They just concern on the recognition
Revenue,
part.
recognition part, yes. Whether you're paid or not paid, they don't concern. So when you do bad write-off, these are the things that will take effect lor.
Yeah.
Because your income, you got bad debts, all this, so you got to reconcile lah. They only care about income.
What about if the transaction happened because of audit adjustment?
Then you have to reconcile that when they ask you for reconciliation lah.
So let's say auditor asks us to recognize revenue on December 6th. this month already June, for example, and they ask us, okay, for year end we need to recognize another 100k of revenue. So we raise a
Put a journal
journal
lah.
on December. So January we need to reverse back, but on June we
You actually
recognize.
recognize lah. So you
the invoice
reconcile lah.
related on June lah.
Yes. You recognize, you can do business as usual. It's just that when you submit the invoice, they will have a thing. Then you submit will be lower. Then they ask you why lower. Then you explain, this one is auditor asked me to do. I submit so much, but auditor asked me to revise for next year ke apa ke.
But we need to show to LSDN, okay, we recognize it in June because
Yes.
adjustment happened in June.
Yeah, there's a lot of reconciliation to be done now. Last time don't need to reconcile because last time they don't have it. You just submit. Now when you submit already, then they will say, hey, how come when you do your audit your auditor report say this much. Then you have to reconcile lah. From what you record, what I received from you and what you submit to me in the year end.
Okay.
That's why now we cannot do. Last time we don't do audit adjustment. We can just take out one invoice or put one invoice. Now must do audit adjustment and must reconcile lah.
I think I want one clarification about the rental. I just want to make sure I'm clear about that lah. Okay, so me as a landlord,
Individual landlord.
individual landlord, not company, individual landlord, what do I have to do? I have a tenant now. So what do I have?
Your tenant, is it individual or business?
Individual.
Tenant individual, they will not require e-invoice from you.
Okay.
So you can just do business as usual.
Okay.
Okay? But you are supposed to declare your income, your rental
Yeah.
income. If you rental your rental income, then fine lah.
Okay.
But before, if you don't rental, if let's say for example, you don't declare your rental income, and if you rent out to me as a Sendirian Berhad or a sole proprietor, I need an evidence of payment to you.
Yeah.
I will do a self-bill for you. Then you are forced to declare the rental income.
Okay, so now let's assume lah, memang all this while I've not declared. I've not declared lah. So now I'm pretty sure my tenant will declare because it's her expenses, right?
No, because she's not doing a business.
If she's
I
a
mean
company,
individually?
No need.
No need, eh?
No need.
because they wouldn't get any benefit if they declare.
Oh.
Because individual, no expenses, only company. But you never know she's running a business. She may rental for you, but she may be running a business.
Need to check that lah.
I need to check that lah.
If she's paying individually, then that's fine.
That's
If she's
fine.
paying from her company or whatever, then
Yeah.
that's why we have to make sure it's recorded.
But let's say if she's the landlord and then the tenant is individual, the agreement is individual, but then she
Pays from the company.
she said that okay, her company want to recognize this rental.
So she will have to give you, probably have to write a new tenancy agreement lah to say that
If not, they declare cannot accept lah because there's no agreement.
there must be a new
Oh,
tenancy
She
agreement
can
lah.
dispute lah because there's no agreement with the government.
Yes.
So now I, as an individual, I don't have to declare.
Actually, you must declare. But
Yeah,
nobody is going to snitch on you. Nobody going to report on you because the other party don't need to claim.
Okay.
Actually, you can declare. You need to declare rental income because if you have got more than one property, is a rent. In fact, rental income, whether one or two or three, you have to declare.
Because it's an income, right?
Yes, correct, yes.
Mentioned, I think.
Yeah. But if you don't declare, nobody will know. But the only thing now, they make the other party declare if the other party wants to do claim tax reduction. Last time, the other party can just declare in accounts only, but now they need to have a QR code from you. And if you are say, I'm an individual, then I say, I do for you lah. I send to you lah. I do for you, I let you know. Then you have to declare. If you don't declare, you already have the details inside the LHDN already. The only thing you don't know what your tenant will do. Because the tenant could be a sole proprietor. It can be his name. Let's say for example you put to me, but I will use a company name because I can say I'm the owner of this company, so I can claim under company also. I mean, if I don't ask you to sign the new S&P, I can say I claim because I'm doing business from maybe my ROC, everything is all under there. But by right, you should ask for company's name lah. Yeah. Okay, come, continue. Okay, this is going to be the last section of the whole theory part. Then after that, we will show you the practical part and all that lah. So far, any questions so far at this stage? Too much? Too much,
I
huh?
think too much of work to do, I guess.
Yeah, thinking of the work, not
Yes, correct. There's a lot of work to do. That's why some of our clients are, although the July one, we'll tell them, please do it now because you got a lot of work to do and got a lot of things to absorb.
Yeah.
very organized what to do.
Very organized what to do. Okay, so now we're going to do the implementation challenges and solution. What are the challenges you will face to implement this e-invoice? Okay, first thing is compliance. What are the fields? You must know all the 55 fields and what is the minimum that you must get. You must collect essential e-invoice data with the existing customer. Existing customer, you must have all the data, the name, address, the 10 data. Then, you must have SOP in place for the new customers coming in. You must know how to tell, how to get the information. So you must design your form or whatever. Redesign your form for information. You must put in the team number, put in the MSIC code, put in the team email address, SSC address, phone number. Sometimes you don't collect all these information, you must make. Okay? Now, for accounts receivable team, you must understand the whole process, how to submit, when to cancel. Okay?
Because my customer, it's a big amount of customer, and then it's a B2C. You know lah how big is the volume?
Yeah.
The value or not, no.
And they repeat buying.
No.
One time.
Not a repetitive customer.
Then you have to do consolidated, but consolidate you still need a bit of invoice. But then if you don't want to do consolidate, then you get information.
Yeah. No, we have the information lah, but to key in everything macam waste of time lah.
Oh.
You've got no software, banyak kerja.
You got no software, got budget kerja lah. Okay? ART must understand, must redesign the form to request complete information from new customers. Existing sudah invoice, the new customers must also. So you must redesign your form. That one pun banyak kerja juga. Okay? Then, accounts payable. Accounts payable also very important because accounts payable will be receiving invoices from your supplier. Okay? First thing is, you must make sure the invoice they receive is e-invoice. Okay? Right now, everybody not started yet. July, everybody starting. So, but you must think, look at expense. This one I think this person not going to do lah. This person not going to do. So, you must tabulate out first, then monitor. By July, you ask them, are you going to do or not? You say, yes. Okay. You say, what is e-invoice? You tahu, dia tak tahu. Then you may not get deduction.
Yeah.
Kan? So you must tabulate.
Dia tak tahu pun you beli.
So kita kena buat training saja.
Oh, tidak kerja you banyak. Self-bill banyak.
Okay? Alert if self-billing is required. If you sell to foreigners, you sell to individual, you receive the bill, please tell the accounts person ke siapa, this one must do self-bill lah. So you must know, must tell the other person because the other person don't know. You don't know. You never tell the person, then you are, the whole company will suffer. So that's why alert Then accounts payable must also resign form, complete information from new supplier. New supplier, especially foreigner and individual lah. Okay, next. IT team. IT team, make sure got internet bandwidth. Because you will have to upload. Yeah. Then HR team. Storage. Yalah, storage pun. And also IT team also know whether you need cloud hosting or not. Yeah. HR team review process to ensure staff is aware that they have asked for valid e-invoice for claims submitted. Okay, they must make sure they ask. You must teach them, must tell them, must ask e-invoice. What is e-invoice? Must have QR code and must unique. What is that? I show you example lah.
Better do internal training.
Yeah, better you do internal training. Your conduct.
Okay, and then the last one is ensure the benefits are stated in the employment contract.
Must be very clear.
Okay. Okay, next one. Okay, what are the impact of e-invoicing on your operation? Banyak impact. Banyak impact. First thing first, whole company needs to know. And what the impact? Invoice is final once you submit for validation. Submit means final, cannot change anymore. Tarik balik means credit note lah. Satu lagi kerja lah. That's the one. They was one. Kenapa takkan credit note selalu kan?
What happens, let's say if the invoice happen before implementation of
Tak payah buat.
Tapi ada
credit note,
the next
ada you can put NA lah.
NA lah.
Okay. No more editing to invoice. Okay. Adjustments to be made through raising credit note, debit note or cancellation which needs to be uploaded to IRBN for validation. Sudah upload ready, kalau nak cancel kan apa, kena upload sekali lagi. Credit note, debit note.
Increase stuff for IRB.
Kerja tu banyak tetapi dia tak ada kuasa nak ke tak.
Tak ada. Dia terima sajalah. Dia terima sajalah.
Asal yang diperlukan yang dia akan kita lah.
They have the right lah.
Okay. Review your existing invoice process flow. Okay. Kalau you ada terlalu banyak proses kan, kelas to remit. Okay. The next one I like to do is assess whether there is a need for customer to agree on the invoice details before uploading invoice portal to reduce invoice rejection. So meaning if your customer, if possible, you issue a pro forma can you agree on this? Please check properly first. Don't after I send only you say, you're wrong lah, this lah. Check first. Then when I upload ready, no more cancellation. Boleh lah macam tu. Because most customers, you send first. Oh, dah sudah send baru dia check. So sekarang check sebelum hantar.
Dia hantar, itu boleh jadi, I think, ada diskaun lagi.
Dia kena bawa kredit lah.
Buat dia.
Tapi kalau sebelum tu you discuss lah. So at least less work lah on both part.
No, if the
Discount
discount of the
Election dia murah.
Ada satu point.
Satu point lah. Sebelum ni you tak ada tengok I sudah upload ready. Kalau tak ada banyak kerja, you kena credit note, I kena credit note. I credit note, you kena buat dari account debit note. Okay. Intercompany transactions need to issue e-invoice. Dulu intercompany angkat the bill, okay, you bayarlah. You bayarlah. Sekarang kena buat e-invoice, upload, baru buat.
Sister company pun kena.
Because your income, my expenses, pa. My expense, I need validated. Dulu, ayah, you ambil this bill, you share lah, you beli stationery, you share half-half tak boleh lah. Sekarang, if you buy stationery one company, you punya share, I do invoice, upload to income tax. Baru you dapat you punya. Kalau boleh, suruh dia split the bill.
beli sendirilah senang.
Beli sendiri senang. Tak dapat volume discount lah. Tak ada volume discount sajalah. Okay? Bills, invoices cannot be shared across intercompany.
Dia cakap dia pun belum.
Terang-terang dah cakap.
Okay, next one. If there's no valid e-invoice from the supplier, means the company cannot get tax deduction for the expense. So,
before make payment, make sure.
yes. Before buying also.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you should look at your P&L document now. Oh, this one most likely tak boleh. Most likely boleh. So you tell the boss, boss, kita nak beli dari sini tak? Sebab if you continue buying, you will most likely not validate invoice and your expenses tak boleh get deduction. If the boss say tak apalah, this one makcik kia, okay, continue lah, but you don't get deduction lah. You have to add back in your tax computation. Okay, we have to compile and tell the boss. It's up to the boss to decide lah. If you're the boss, you decide lah, nak beli ke tak nak beli. Nak beli ke food court ke tak nak beli food court. Or you buy from 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven mesti ada, tapi buy food court tu makcik ke, tak apalah. Sikit-sikit ni dah invoice ke? Yeah, okay. And number 7, some expenses may need more documents and proof of work done to validate expenses. Like you go entertainment, all this type, you also need to know who you entertain, all that, like usual lah. So this is can, but you must see who are you entertain lah.
Kalau future customer tak boleh.
Future customer tak boleh.
Dia kalau existing.
Existing. Supplier pun tak boleh.
Supplier pun tak boleh.
Tak boleh. Because supplier tak not necessary for you. Only customers, existing customers and your staff. Staff pun you kena letaklah siapa.
Kena letak nama.
Nama juga.
Ya.
So nak bagi belanja staff pun.
Itulah.
Yalah.
Pening kepala.
So let's say, for example, I'm treating my 10 staff.
Itulah the names. Put behind the invoice lah, put the names lah.
So I will claim under my name, tapi I will put my 10 staff punya nama.
Anytime is your claim. Then, dereng.
Because you claiming invoice is under your name, e-invoice.
Better you put company's name.
Better put company's name. You put your name.
So now I think building up.
Semua put company's name.
You put your name, you'll be in your tax portal. Although you don't want to claim.
Akan jadi you punya tax punya.
No, dia ada report lah. You tak nak claim tapi ada report lah. Tapi kalau terlalu banyak entertainment orang ni, gaji tak banyak. Gaji tak banyak, belanja banyak. Apa dia buat ni? Mana dapat income?
Itu nak kena claim. I actually tolong ada staff. I belanja buat staff makan je.
Tapi company expenses.
Pusing juga.
You kena.
Kena jawab.
Put company's name to the extent possible.
Easy to all company's name.
Okay. This is impact your operation. Okay, next one, impact your company tax. Why I do the company tax is, okay, this is a fact. Companies that have implemented mandatory e-invoicing have improved tax compliance. China apparently has got e-invoicing many years ago already. That's why their tax collection very good. That's why they can improve the economy. Anybody want to do business in China, they have to have e-invoice.
But the system different now.
Many years ago already, a lot of people do. Okay, tax bodies have more control over taxpayers as they receive and validate transaction documents immediately as it happens instead of when the tax returns are submitted. So immediately you claim, I know already you're buying from this person, so I can track. If I senang, I track, this person, I track lah. Tak payah tunggu sampai 17 months later.
And then tu lagi 7 tahun nak track orang tu lagi.
Sekarang tak payah, sekarang immediately tak boleh buat. Sekarang ada AI tau, senang saja. Dia punya sistem is AI driven. Okay, next. It is also easy to detect tax evasion as IRB can cross-check the details. My income is your sales. My income is your expenses. Your expenses is somebody's income. Your expenses, somebody's income. Can cross-check. Immediate. Number 4, with the e-invoicing system, this facilitates pre-filled tax return. That means they can pre-fill for you your tax return. You just tengok betul tak betul saja. Adjust saja. This is in future maybe.
I mean, going to this direction.
This direction, yes. Okay. And this one, you must review your expense item or your income statement and assess impact on company tax if the supplier is not able. This is something that you must do now. Not wait until 1st July, then only do. All your expense item, detail out which expenses may not be able to get e-invoice.
Kat situ lah maknanya kemungkinan kita tak akan berusniaga dengan orang yang tak
Betul.
kan sama juga orang lain tengok kita tak start lagi. Oh, I nak buang, tak mau I get.
Ya, betul.
Marketing point, not marketing point for you. So like, I dah compliant.
I dah compliant.
Compliant. It's a marketing point for you.
TP sekarang pun semua kena buat dah. So TP banyak TP tak ada declare income kan? Tak tahu. Trainer lah. Trainer TP ada, trainer tak ada declare. So trainer sekarang kena buat. Beng. Okay, score sekarang kita buat activity. Quiz Okay, how I do my quiz is simple. I'm going to reflect the question, you just answer, siapa nak answer lah. We better that way because it's just a reflection lah. Okay, after this quiz caps, if you want to see how the software will do the e-invoice, I'll show you the software part. But this one here, I do the quiz. Okay, first, what is the e-invoice format that is acceptable for income tax for validation format? What format they accept?
XML, JSON.
Yeah, JSON. Yeah, betul. Invoice is XML or JSON. This is actually human, computer ready lah. Computer code. Okay? How to transmit? How to send the invoice to LHDN? Satu lagi your software lah. Okay? So this called transmission is two method. One is the my invoice portal. Another one will be ni kena buat 2 kali. Ni I tulis sini lah. And enter the details one by one. Sini API masuk control sekali saja. Lepas tu the account dah buat dah.
Yang penting software tu dia integrated.
Yes, kita tak payah fikir software. So my part is I teach this part. The next next 4 hours is teach you how to enter the data. Then I successfully done already. I was so happy. My software kecil-kecil pun boleh buat. Yang besar orang bayar 500 million pun tak boleh buat.
Awak tak kan tak problem with this?
Okay, this is how the MyTax portal will look like. So they will ask you for line item, you go put in the what item, how many unit, product code, quantity. Semua ni kena bawa setiap kali you buat semua kali. Fields lah.
This one no upload module lah kan?
Upload module lah in MyTax portal.
You cannot upload, you need to key in manually.
Yes lah. Tapi dia ada Excel pun. Tapi Excel pun I think
buat manually juga.
Kena upload juga. Excel ada Excel pun, ada Excel.
Ada Excel lah, boleh upload lah.
Boleh upload. So siapa yang tak nak beli software boleh guna ni the Excel lah, tapi kena belajar lah. This example. Okay, and then this is the second page. And then the amount total berapa lah. Okay. This example because my software cannot do this, so I tell them can do. No, they'll test. Okay lah. Sudah boleh dah. Tak boleh dah. Okay. Is e-invoice applicable to transactions in Malaysia only? No, because foreigner also must do. Yeah? No, It's also applicable to cross-border transaction. Foreign buyer, foreign seller. Okay? You need to know we got foreign buyer, foreign seller, you must do e-invoice. Either self-build atau are all businesses required to issue e-invoice? Yes. All businesses must issue. Only persons are exempted.
Persons.
Okay? Yes, all taxpayers undertaking commercial activities in Malaysia are required to issue invoice in accordance with the phase inventory. Okay, tapi other industries are exempted? No industries. All industries, only persons only. Government is industry. It's not industry, it's a body of person. It's a person.
Like masjid.
Huh?
Just now you said masjid.
That was a person lah, bukan industry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, no. All industries are required to issue invoice.
As long as they do business.
However, certain person and certain person sajalah, certain person, certain body saja. Like masjid or that lah. Number 6. What's the timeline to issue? Okay, dah you do If the turnover 130 million, when must you do the e-invoice?
No. Sekarang.
August.
August.
Okay? Must do August. Sekarang lah, dah buat dah.
The second one,
Second one, if the turnover 30 million,
January.
January. Banyak customer dispute juga. Because 30 million is about 1 million a month. 1 million quite common lah, I think. All the construction companies will come. If the construction companies don't come here, most of it will come under here. Okay? And then the rest, if let's say, for example, 300,000, the rest. 150,000 and below, no need to do for now. Maybe they will come up with something else.
everything they start from micro SME and above.
Micro SME baru announce. Baru Julai baru announce. Sebelum tak ada exemption pun. Sekarang you kena suruh marah exemption lah. Kena detail lah apa exemption dia, macam mana. Kalau saya beli dari micro SME, macam mana boleh tak ambil claim. Actually, ada orang nak micro SME kan dia nak limit to 500. It's 150. 150,000 kan dia nak increase to 500,000. Then at least a lot of the you punya usahawan will not be having to do lah. Tapi orang yang beli dari dia macam mana?
Rugi kat dia untuk long term.
Ya, dia rugi.
Dia rugi customer yang kita target dia dapat good customer.
Yes, correct.
Kalau dia
Among them okay lah. Dia want bigger customer mah. Okay, next question. Can I issue self-bill invoice if my supplier did not issue invoice to me? Can ah? Cannot.
Cannot need to.
Why? Because all supplier must issue e-invoice except the supplier is individual or foreigner. So all supplier must issue. Must. Except that, okay lah, maybe micro SME lah. For now lah, micro SME lah. Tapi by right cannot. Self-billed e-invoice is only permitted for circumstances that are stated in invoice. Stated on individual, foreigners, and then government lah, apa lah. Okay? Where the transaction does not fall within the guideline, taxpayers are not allowed to issue. So this example is what? There's one customer in Cebu. Okay lah, far away. But no internet. How? The government say, you come to town, you come to my LHDN office, use my internet, you buy from there. No exemption. Tak ada internet ke apa, tak ada exemption. Okay? Because you are running a business.
Habis tu macam mana dia yang tak ada that.
Pergi tahun lah. Satu bulan sekali atau 1 tahun atau 1 minggu sekali pergilah KL. Pergi tahun lah.
Dekat mata government, you buat business, you ada duit, by right you don't have
By right.
excuse.
Yeah, correct.
But you can afford. Taklah contoh-contoh.
Contoh-contoh Okay, then last question. For the taxpayers who register CCM, SSM, which business registration number to use when issue invoice? This one I didn't cover just now, but you must use the new SSM number, the 12-digit SSM number. Yeah, because you got old and new, so when you register, you must use new.
Also new already.
But some still got.
All ones they got, but no need to include lah, just put the new one.
Yeah, but the thing is, some people don't know their new number also. So if you put your old number, it will be rejected when you upload.
Yeah.
So now what they do is they say LHDN has taken a step to temporarily disable the business registration number validation. Dia tak ada validate tapi you kena submit lah. That means they will not stop the submission lah. They want you to submit only. Okay, so SSM baru punya number And then the next number, this one is to tell you what are the consequences for failure to issue e-invoice. Yeah. 6 months.
6 months.
6 months. Habis dah penjara tak cukup.
Okay?
Makan free.
Failure to issue e-invoice will be subject to 200 or 20,000 or 6 months. Makan free.
For one invoice, no, imagine.
Multiple. Multiple lah.
Yeah lah, so one invoice is 20,000 at some
For each non-compliance.
Oh.
All both, huh?
You make
They
it.
both also.
Today, we are together in this IDEC. Later, because of this, all of us together in prison together.
Janganlah.
So better do lah that tomorrow.
Yeah, the moral story. Better do. Correct.
Just for one invoice, no, imagine got 10.
Okay, another last question I think I prepared. If the issuer accidentally make a mistake or provide an inaccurate information, how can the issuer rectify the mistake? Okay, so within the 72 hours, we can go log into the portal and cancel. Tapi after you cancel, your system must do credit note also lah. Tapi credit note tak payah upload ready because you already cancelled the portal. Okay, or you wait until 2 hours, or even within now also you can issue credit note. Tak payah cancel. Buat credit note is easier. When you buat credit note, you upload sekali. So your system ada invoice dengan credit note easier. Kalau tak ada, you cancel dekat portal, you must remember to do your system, buat satu credit note to offset the invoice. So kalau boleh jangan cancel lah, just buat credit note. Okay, and then it says if the issue takes mistakes after 72 hours, the issuer can issue a credit note, debit note. When you do debit note, you must include the original invoice number when referenced. Okay, so the software must be able to do this. Okay, what I want you to do is to make sure you come and visit this website again and again in future. Because this is the website where I get most of my information. I tambah I punya knowledge, but this is the basic information you can get.
But definitely, I need you to help.
Actually, I tell you, the software is the most important. This information, yes, because we can give you the information you can refer. The software, if they make it easy for you,
Then we'll be happy that
happy.
to do it.
Jangan cancel, buat
Credit note. Buat credit note. You punya software, I think they use middleware. I don't know whether it's ready or not, but initially they say not ready. But now I think they engage another third party, so you're going to pay a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
Okay? So what I'm going to do is, this is the part. Actually, I have another part of the invoice. Okay, what I want to show you is, okay, what I am doing is, it doesn't mean that I don't like my tax portal. You can still do the my tax portal, but I am proposing to use a software. Okay, so this is my software part lah. Okay, so the software can do invoice and everything. So I just show you. So this is a sample of the software. The software got LHDM terms. You can put e-invoice or consolidate. Then you put your description. So each description, you put a text, the tariff code, the classification. Remember the product classification 003, the text type, and then the unit of measurement. Okay, this is what the software will do. Then you just click record. Then they will upload to income tax. Simple. So, but before that, you got to make sure the customer got the TIN number, everything lah.
So whenever you click record, directly send to LSDN.
Yes.
So one transaction, send LSDN.
Yes. Because that's what is required. Transaction invoice.
Yeah.
Unless you tick consolidate, then they will end of the month you consolidate lah. Customer punya, you have to click on when you click on the customer. Dalam sini sales invoice tak ada, tapi dalam customer tu you sudah create lah. Okay.
You punya sistem. Harga sistem.
You guna what? Tak nak lah. This is
Okay.
okay. So the software will ask, do you want to send to e-invoice? We say yes. Then they log in, put in your email. Then after that, sudah send. Successfully send document to Malaysian e-invoice. Okay, so now dalam sistem kita punya software can also click email. So you boleh send to email to the invoice. Okay, so now what I want to do, this is a sample the emails the software will give. They attach the invoice to the pattern. Okay, and this is how the invoice format will look like. company name, the local number, and important is QR code. So sekarang I nak you gunakan you punya handphone, scan this QR code, see what you get. So this is what you should do. Whenever supplier give you ada QR code, scan. Can be fake punya, so scan.
No, there's the app to trace also.
Is it? Oh, that I'm not aware of.
No, ada.
So that notification dia kata bila. So sebelum this is it, digital signature.
Valid.
The time validation is 3 o'clock 40. So it's the visual representative. Okay. You scan lagi.
So kita detail betul letak
So this is what you will see lah macam ni They'll tell you your invoice number, name, supplier name, what is the buyer name, I mean I'm using this one, then how much the invoice, when I issue it, when I update, and when it's validated. So in this case it's 1 second only lah. Oh, not bad, 1 second.
I think they use AI lah. It's not like so many.
So mine is because I do, my phone is a bigger one, yours is vertical, mine is software lah. Tengok phone lah, tapi but anyways the information is there.
No, you use portal.
So the most important part is in the green phone lah kan?
Valid. And then UID, and then code lah, tadi sebelum datang ni ada QR code tu lah. Okay, okay, next one, I want to show example where this one I cancel the invoice. Okay, so this is an example. This is okay, I put in the SA3, put everything accept, so I put E-invoice juga. I submit. Tapi lepas I submit, I say, I nak cancel. Because this is an actual case, when I do sample, I actually cancel. So sudah update, then upload, then I check the invoice. Sini, valid. Tapi sekarang you scan, tengok. Apa dia tengok?
Cancel.
Because it says cancel. So every time you see PO doesn't mean that it's valid now. Valid yes, tapi dia sudah cancel dalam 3 hours tu dia sudah cancel.
But we get the notification also lah.
All depends on income tax lah. I don't know what income tax is, but when you receive the invoice, ultimately when you receive the invoice, please scan any invoice, any quotation you get, because it can be cancelled. Income tax is supposed to send, but I heard sometimes ada, sometimes tak ada, so I pun tak tahu. I can't see on the bill.
Manpower pun tak cukup lagi.
Dia punya staff pun belum tentu equip well equip. Dia tak jawab.
Kita punya soal.
Testing code, testing phase lah.
Masih kan.
Okay. Okay, next will be, okay, this is a sample of the, yeah. So this is the invoice format you receive lah. Okay, this invoice dia mungkin dah bagi you, dah ada code ni, tapi you kena sebelum buat payment please scan lah. Tadi my customer cakap, macam mana saya dah buat payment lepas tu dia cancel, macam mana saya tak tahu lah lepas tu. Kan, dah buat payment dia cancel. Then dia bagi tahu you pun tak tengok, dah cancel.
Self invoice pun tak boleh kan? Self billing pun tak boleh kan?
Dah keluar invoice.
Invoice cancel.
Macam ni kata dah bayar, lepas tu dia cancel, you dah terima duit tau, invoice dah cancel, demi account dah cancel. Tapi you punya masih dah bayaran, macam mana? I don't know. That one I cannot answer. That one income tax punya issue I think. Then you report the client I think.
34,000.
324,000. Sebelum bayar kena check dulu, scan. Tapi lepas bayar dia boleh cancel pun.
Yeah.
Kan?
Yeah. Doesn't necessary. That means you have to wait for 3 days lah.
No, they can cancel after that also.
Oh, they
Like
can cancel after that also.
They go credit note.
They did not.
Oi.
Because when you scan the time is valid, you make a payment. But then like this case, you maybe this one is because I cancel within the 72 hours. But what if you are a very prompt payment, you make a payment. Lepas tu within the 72 hours they cancel. Tapi
Apa dia jadi cancel? Dah tu boleh
scan.
Oh, scan pun macam ni. Ya betul.
Tak tahu.
Betul?
Pakai e-invoice tu bagus. Dia dah ambil dah detail dia semua.
Scammer bukan lewat. Sekarang artis scammer pun bukan macam tu.
Guna income tax.
No,
Takkan kot. Scammer takkan nak declare kat tax.
no, I can give you a real life example. My
Boleh
friend
ke? Wah.
wanted to go to a uni
Ah.
in mana dia pergi? China. Go to China. So they supposed to pay for her hotel accommodation. Tapi dia tengok macam scammer. So dia
Yelah, ni dalam kes ni kan portal LPN. Takkan kita boleh buatkan scammer kat dalam ni.
boleh?
Mana tahu?
Why?
We received Rashid call and scam tu.
Bagi pihak lembaga hasil dalam negeri. Itu dia nak jawab.
Siapa nak detect itu? Sebab kita kita punya tax.
Ah.
Kan? Jadi kalau begitu berlaku tak cross tu duduk kat mana? Kan tiba-tiba dia dapat maklumat tu kita yang punya transaction. Padahal kita tak terlibat apa pun.
That's why dalam masa 3 hari tu, dia akan bagi you chance untuk cancel. Tapi kadang-kadang email tak datang pun. A lot of my customer kata dia tak terima email pun. Tak ada terima dari income tax pun.
Ada possibility untuk scam dia macam consider as third party scammer lah. Contoh macam I beli dengan dia 100k. Lepas tu I jual barang dekat dia 100k. So I bagi dia invoice ni, dia buat payment dekat you. Lepas tu I tak ship barang kat dia pun. So I dapat barang daripada you, contohlah.
Dengan I dia tak bayar lagi.
Tapi dia dah bayar kan.
Dia dah bayar.
Dia lah lagi tak dapat barang. Itulah third party scammer yang boleh macam ni. Tapi
Punya invoice
senang nak
kita mau kita
senang nak detect lah siapa yang involved party.
Senang nak detect lah tapi yalah.
Sekali sajalah.
Sekali sajalah.
macam ni, dia nak buka apa? Dia mesti buka apa tu syarikat ke apa ke betul tak boleh.
Tak payah, you boleh buat individual punya boleh. Individual boleh buat invoice.
Tapi IC bukan apa.
Mesti ada team lah. Dia boleh guna foreign punya team, dia boleh gunakan dia punya staff punya team. Sekarang you punya team lah, everybody sudah tahu you punya team. Dia boleh gunakan you punya team. Cuma mungkin email address pun tak ada lah. Tapi who knows lah dia smarter.
IC number?
IC
Even
number.
your IC number is going to be visible.
Tak tahulah, but I think it's not possible but
Sebab
you never know.
hacker boleh senang-senang dapat meeting number kalau benda ni dah expose dekat luar.
Yeah.
Macam hack certain company ni, okay, ambil tin number dia, bagi dekat orang, buat payment, dia dapat barang daripada dia tapi dia tak dapat, orang ni tak dapat barang dia.
Bahaya open macam ni.
Tak tahulah, we never know scammer. So that's why my advice to you, ada invoice scan dulu. Lepas tu maybe call the person ke apa ke. After that, and then periodically kena, I think lah for me, I periodically kena check lah scan ni. Dia dah cancel.
You must make it part of the SOP. Everything must scan.
Hmm.
Every QR code scan, check. Part of the SOP.
Kalau dia punya tu orang scammer yang curi daripada dalam tu lagi bahaya untuk scammer kan. Kalau ada phone number tu, dia ada phone number dia call lah.
Ada phone number.
Call better. Sekarang scan ni tiba-tiba bukan. Dia ni yang sebenarnya yang macam
Actually this scammer boleh, ni QR code boleh scan ke? Boleh scan kan?
Scammers are smarter than anyone.
Yes, smarter than anyone.
They will come out with something.
Exactly.
Dekat polis pun, dekat apa tu yang MCMC tu pun, dia pun tak dapat buat.
Okay, this is an actual case which I tested on my software that can upload. Okay, so just now the sample I give is all from LHDN punya lah, but this is the actual sample that we uploaded.
Ini jadi shorter lah. Tadi semua kita belajar tadi memang lompat kan.
This is a ultimate aim is to enter the system, send, okay, counting. Sudah siap.
Sebab yang ada ni pun dah, ada senang macam ni pun main pening kepala. Apatah lagi nak ada 5 feel tadi kan.
Yang kita buat semua tu sebelum ni ialah for you to understand. Sebab lepas tu then you mesti tahu bila nak hantar. That's all you know, bila and when, okay, why you need to hantar, and itulah the details you need to. Once you have this idea with the software, very senang punya. So income tax actually very senang. It's just that because software yang kena buat menyenangkan.
Nampaknya all the double entry semua dia buat kan.
Ni tak, double entry semua buat kan.
Double entry sudah big kan mak.
Okay, they will put down the classification code 030 is repair maintenance, the details, amount, and then the service tax, other tax, how much, then they will give you the summary. Okay, this is Okay, this one I don't want to show you. Okay, this is to show you that it can be sent. Okay, so sekarang what we do is we have more or less finished the theory part. So now I need you to go through your list this morning. You do. We review and see whether we have managed to cover my first learning outcome or not. Okay, so what I wanted to do is just now, these are the learning outcome I have. Okay, have you understand the benefits of e-invoice to the government? To the government.
Not to consumer. Soalan apa ni?
Soalan apa ni?
Not to us.
Okay, you know the essential of e-invoice. What is e-invoice? Why you need to do? When you need to do? When you need to do? Every time you got invoice, got to do. Okay, or consolidate invoice at the end of the month, or self-bill, as the foreigners give you. Who needs to do? All. How to do? Upload how? You either use free punya My Invoice Portal or buy your software. Okay, buy your software lah, easier lah. Any software also can. Okay, and then that's compliant. Yeah, compliant. Okay, and then you must understand the guidelines, the one that we go through just now, the 4 hours. It's not a wasted one, although it's very theory. It's not wasted because you need to know the theory. We need to know, because if not, you don't know what to do. Okay, and then regulations covering invoice, because they will change one, you know. And during the 1 year, 4 kali sudah tukar. So you must update, and then become aware the importance of issuing e-invoice in accordance or the penalties involved. Know exactly when you need to issue e-invoice. Yes. When to issue consolidated. Yes. When to issue self-bill. Yeah. Okay. Aware of the time frame, 72 hours to cancel. Address the challenges. Okay, any other challenges, the one that I do, any other challenges you have, you go through your list after, and then affect your operations.
So the number 5, right, especially when marketing holiday weekend, all will try it.
Okay, so actually this was what I covered. The activity, we do a recap just now. Now I want to go through your list.
How to start?
How to
start using this?
How to start using this?
Contoh sekarang kita belum lagi. Kita
Okay.
Julai nanti lah.
Ah, ah.
Kan? How? Actually dia go to the system. Kalau you tak guna the software, then
You tak ada guna software, 1st July log into the portal, your invoice key in. Tapi if you use a software, you have to take in the tax number, your customer punya number, address, email semua, put in the system. 1st July, upload from the system.
Then what need this buat database dulu ni.
Buat database dulu. Buat database dengan produk. Okay, next question.
The previous deal tu semua abaikan saja kita.
Ya.
On je kan. Kita start terus. Kita ada kalau ada subcontract macam mana?
Subcontract, dia earn income kan? Dia kena issue pada you lah. Kesiannya So what I do is, my customer ada satu tau. Dia beli, dia main contract. Dia punya subcontract tak tahu buat. Dia beli software untuk dia. Dia suruh dia punya staff buat untuk dia lah.
Oh, baik. But no choice.
No choice. Because they have to give to you. Dia tak ada bagi, you tak boleh dapat claim exemption. So dia beli software untuk dia. Dia buat on behalf. No choice. They actually buy software for the company. So that do for them. Do for them the invoicing lah.
Because most of them are contractors.
Satu software, satu.
Kalau
Sebab dia nak tahu hantar dari mana. Dia nak digital sedikit.
Sama macam kita sekarang ni handphone dia, kita boleh guna untuk bank kan pakai satu device kan? Yes. Tak boleh pakai banyak.
They will trigger.
Yeah, satu big the one price.
They will trigger.
Okay, next question.
Okay. Jadi kontrak dengan government tadi dia cakap government dia tak keluarkan tapi kita kena buat kalau perlu.
Ya,
kita
kau
kena
buat.
B2B kecil macam mana tadi dia cakap below
150.
tak ada lagi lah kan?
Belum lagi.
Okay. E-system apa yang nak guna? Oh, dah cakap ni. Bos betul terus guna sistem yang kita punya sendiri lah.
Sekarang kalau you ada sistem, you tanya you punya sistem provider boleh tak buat invoice, lepas tu belajar macam mana gunakan sistem tu untuk buat invoice. Sebab you sudah pergi training untuk e-invoice. Dia punya teori sudah tahulah.
Basic saja.
So sekarang kita gunakan software. Oh, ini software e-invoice. Okay, tick saja, hantar. Consolidate, tick saja. Sudah tahu apa itu, sudah tahu apa consolidate. Pergi purchase, oh kita nak self build. Apa itu self build? Kita kena buat foreigner atau individual. Atau landlord individual.
Macam yang diorang pergi outstation semua tu ada nak klik
Mileage.
energy access ni. Energy access kan ada meal allowance lah, mileage, OKV.
Mileage semua boleh claim. Asalkan nama company lah, kalau boleh lah.
What happens to the fixed allowance?
Fixed allowance, normally fixed allowance kan sepatut you have to give in the EA form. If you put EA form tak payahlah.
Sebab mileage tak kena lah, tapi yang meal
Allowance semua masuk dalam
Kalau
EA
yang
form.
project basis
you mean energy
untuk
access.
OA.
So yang tu macam mana?
That was okay. As
No,
long
because
as
this is okay, what happens to non-fixed allowance?
no fixed allowance, as long as you can put that this project, you can put down this project is for what lah. This allowance for which project ke apalah.
You mean company lah?
Company.
So the individual?
Individual don't have to do anything.
So
Company.
need
It's
to,
expenses for the company. Individual tak payah buat apa-apa.
so the company need to raise self billing lah kan.
Tak payah. Because allowances all exempted tadi. Give you concession.
Okay, let's say if kalau allowance contoh macam dia beli barang dekat kedai-kedai yang kecil.
Correct. Kedai-kedai kecil tu kena nak invoice dalam company lah.
Company's name lah.
Okay, now go through your list. Apa question yang saya tak ada address?
So yang ni macam audit adjustment dah settle.
Audit adjustment dah settle, okay.
Self billing, notin number, just put general. Okay, kalau donation, like certain company they requested for our NGO company to issue out invoice.
You terima duit. Donation actually jangan tak payah buat e-invoice. So,
No need lah, macam ada certain company dia minta invoice.
tapi donation ada lah.
Grant invoice.
Kenal lah. Donation lah.
Tu yang tadi.
Ni lah, last one. Ada.
Donation.
Macam mana Okay
Jadi untuk business purposes dia terima kan?
Ah.
Itu maksudnya
sebab you terima duit. You ada NGO ke apa? Bukan NGO.
NGO.
NGO ada tax tak?
Tax exempt.
Then tak payahlah, you just tak payahlah.
Kalau sebab selalu dia akan minta grant invoice untuk documentation. So no need lah.
Tak payah upload lah.
Memang I bagi.
Tapi you tengok
Dia
sini.
minta grant invoice juga.
Oh, tadi ada satu donation lah.
Manual. Setiap kali dia orang pergi tweet, kita kena remind dia lah.
I rasa kena buat satu training lah.
Yes.
Sebab kita
Tak, you train manager. Kalau dia orang tak buat, manager have to.
kita buat semua.
semua. I think because sometimes
Yalah.
bila
you fikir balik,
sebab ini I rasa presentation pun kena kan.
Donation tak payah kot.
Yalah.
Sebab at least you buat tugas tu.
Exactly. If you train the managers, how sure you are manager faham? Kalau dia buat semua, so semua orang tak faham, tanya soalan, kita boleh explain lah.
Ada turnover tinggi.
Your donation is not your income.
As a income
Tapi-
for the NGO lah.
For the NGO is income. Then but NGO also, you can submit lah because the other party needs a QR code I think. Where I saw the donation one.
So nothing will impact their salary part, nothing will impact. Eh?
Okay.
Whatever goes under EA form,
Tak apalah, I go to back LSDM ni list.
Next question.
Kan ada tu je, lain semua dah cover.
Okay, good. Yours?
I think mine all covered. My only concern extra from the rest was how it impacts employees and HR point of view, like what is takeaway from me lah, which I think I got a lot of information. And the rest was just how to implement when, who is the targeted audience, what is the procedure steps, and something like just covered it.
Your question?
You answer already.
All answered already? The agent. Okay. Any questions you want to have to ask? Any other questions?
During implementation implementation nanti dia kena banyak version.
Ya. Sekarang teori saja.
Sekarang teori saja.
Baru faham teori.
Actually the business process also involved tau. Because sometimes you do credit note, debit note, macam mana nak buat. Macam especially customer you tak nak buat invoice, lepas tu datang macam mana nak buat nasabah. Dah terima duit bulan ni, dah update. Lepas tu dia nak credit note, macam mana dia nak e-invoice. So you got to reverse, buat baru punya, buat accounting entry. Kan sebab katakan dia on the first you sudah bank in money semua dah. And then you are ready to do consolidate. Tapi dia datang on the today's 21st, nak e-invoice lah. Oh. Okay, so I kena dapat you punya data. So I tak boleh reverse last month punya. On the first, so I kena issue invoice hari ni. Buat sebagai hari ni sales, tapi on the first punya I kena reverse last month punya sales.
Kena cancel lah kan?
Kena cancel lah. And then put this month lah.
Jadi double lah.
Double work lah. And then tak boleh cancel pun, kadang software tak boleh cancel sebab dah upload. So kena do credit note. So the procedure, banyak procedure. So kalau boleh cakap dengan customer, hari ni you decide lah. Jangan, kalau tak ada 3 hari, at least 3 hari lah. So another one I face is yalah the process lah. Kadang-kadang then if you have a POS system macam ni kan, you ada POS system. POS system tak boleh buat. Dia tak nak buat e-invoice. Actually POS system kalau all the restaurants kena buat, tapi dia tak boleh buat. Foreign software. So apa kena buat? Kena all download to the software. Dan dari software kita buat consolidate. Habis dia tanya kena buat satu-satu ke? Kalau tak nak buat satu-satu, kita buat total on the day. Tapi also the thing, let's say for example, people come macam mana dia nak buat cancel tu. So these are the actual process ada involved.
So dia kena bagi info dulu in advance. SIC number. Kalau dia dah balik, tak ada lah.
Apa ni What's the message tadi?
Thunder warning.
Hujan.
Just now, weather report thunder warning.
Those are the takeaway lah, the small things you need to account for. Ada apa lagi nak tanya, question? Relaxation period. Information ni penting. So this one you must know. So you must make sure, actually I like to do my slide. This one is total. I like to refer on my slide. So you must actually do this. You can take a skip if you want. Yeah, you must give to your staff your company name, spelling betul. TIN number betul. Company registration number, company SST number, tourism tax kalau tak ada, company email. This email is for notification by income tax. Then company MSIC code, semua ni mesti letak. Okay. One of my client kata dia suruh dia punya IT department sebab dia ada 5 companies. So dia kena buat untuk 5 companies because the staff sometimes go for this company, sometimes buy refreshment for this company.
And the staff will mix out the
sebab kena betul. Dulu tak payah just ambil bill, okay. Tapi sekarang you as a HR, you must say, bill mesti dapat validate lah. Kalau tak ada orang tu akan bising juga. Kalau you tak minta tu orang, ayo kenapa tadi tak bagi sekarang, kena reverse lah, kena buat apa kan. So a bit susah juga. So you kena make sure you punya staff knows all this detail.
Penggunaan ni I rasa sebelum staff buat ni, kantor dia pergi mental training.
You know,
Pergi training.
you know, kena ready.
Dia pun boleh hafal semua benda.
I got one, they do training kan, satu dia punya boss dari UK yang kata, banyaknya you kena buat, you boleh buat ke? Dia nak staff ke? I say boss dia bagusnya. Because additional tau, because apa? Sebab 80% of the suppliers is foreigner. So dia banyak self-build kena buat. Self-build foreigners tu, dia ada banyak foreigners. On top of that, the foreigners will also come to Malaysia, so it's going to be a self-build. Dia akan spend sana buat banyak tu buat.
Itu memang kerja dia staff lain ke.
So the boss so generous. 80%.
Sabit kan? Orang kerja dia jadi banyak.
Banyak. Dulu tak payah. Dulu payment voucher saja. Buat apa, internet payment voucher. Ayat apa?
Untuk propose dekat
bos.
kita orang.
Nak training
Tak, tambah staff.
Tambah staff.
Oh, tambah staff tak boleh. After this okay ready, tak payah tambah staff. Is the initial saja kena tambah. Initial kena tambah staff.
I
Tapi
think after 2 years we all will be like, it's just E-invoice.
Yeah.
Because
now lah.
now only have to collect this information lah. The next information is the product. So you punya product, how you do your product?
Dia scan saja.
Scan saja.
Now like My Sejahtera lah, mula-mula bising, semua bising.
And
Now
also,
like senang.
and I think also to make the staff understand lah.
Why?
Because sekarang macam kita orang sebab ada involved, kita orang understand.
Yeah.
But the staff, I don't know whether they understand this or not.
Tak ada siapa yang faham.
Ya.
Lain kali you hantar 3 kali pun belum tentu dia akan faham. Sebab dia tak akan rasa keperluan dia.
Yeah.
Tapi now memang betul keperluan everybody sebenarnya.
So you baca semalam yang newspaper kan, ada satu minister kata 90% of the SMEs not ready.
Not ready.
Betul.
Some of them don't even know.
Yeah.
Some even don't know. Your SMEs pun banyak persatuan kan, not ready.
Sama tengok lah tahun depan lah.
Some tahun depan lah. Tapi tahun depan, because your preparation is the one.
To prep.
You need to prepare the data.
No, staff also not
Staff need to be ready. And also, the staff, you must tell the staff, cannot simply put people's tax number inside there. You want to scan, letak, let's say for example lah, dia want to beli kereta mewah. The boss kata, I letak you punya nama lah, tax, the driver. Boleh lah driver, okay. Tapi driver tu dia punya income not sufficient to pay for the car. The driver kena investigate nanti.
I have a question, sorry. Just now I think you mentioned about this, pasal flight ticket. Can you just recap that? Apa you mentioned, like for example, like if you want to go macam Europe tour or something, you mentioned that.
No, because when you do the flight ticket, you will be booking for your, let's say for your family members. So if you don't specify which invoice to which person, you go into your account.
But what if like people who have kids?
That is okay lah. But you're not claiming lah. But the thing is, we just want to reduce the number of
Spending.
points for investigation.
No, I think like this one incentive trade. You beli for staff.
Organize asking.
Yeah, correct. So you better put company's name, rather put your name.
At least dia nak tengok, contoh you punya income 100,000 setahun. Dia pun tengok travel 500,000. At least dia akan jumpa you tanya lah.
Kita tanya punya.
Tangkap ready.
So the 500 sepatutnya letak nama company lah. Jangan volunteer letak nama company you. Sekarang kita beli tiket just letak saja, tak kisah. So sekarang mesti make sure. Letak company number. And then the tick because sometimes I think the air ticket dia tick kat belakang, kat depan tu. Belakang saja klik I buy which company name. So sekarang mungkin dia kena put depan. E-invoice ke apa. Last time GST dia put belakang, so I want GST invoice then bagi invoice lah. Tapi sekarang you mesti make note if you're buying for the company, make sure you put company's name. Jangan letak you punya company. Sebab you punya tax profile they will put inside there. So they tengok you may not claim the expenses, but they tengok you ada pergi ya.
Sometimes people want to use their credit card. Employee nak guna credit card,
Credit
dia
card.
dapat point. Dia lah.
Betul lah, dia tak point tapi dia tak tahu the effect. Because this one is affecting your tax, your personal tax. Your personal tax is involved. So all those people should not make use of the lower income people to buy things lah.
Yeah.
And they may not know, say, boss okay lah, letak lah. Tapi
So that's why the awareness is very important.
Yeah.
So they can already voice out, tapi buat ni bahaya ni
Last time never mind because nobody will investigate. But now you go to the tax profile, maybe they also pay small tax. But the thing is when they look, wah, ada tiket, ada beli kereta expensive lah. Because the bosses, I'm not saying all bosses lah, but some people they just want to put into they are aware of this and say, okay, I put your name lah. You're not aware. So you should let your own family members don't simply accept somebody to tell you, oh, I can put your name lah, it's okay lah, cannot lah. You cannot do that. Okay?
Everything must be company name.
Company must be company's name. Everything must be company's name. You even if you go to 7-Eleven or anything you buy, you want E-invoice, put in a company's name. You put your name, you appear in your tax profile. Of course, you can put if you buy for your own self. Okay, you can click books. No, you want to buy books, want to claim books. Okay, very good. Okay. So you must remember this, and the other thing that you must remember is, this one individual. We need to give this one, and this one. This one is very important. You must know this one lah. As an employee, if you're doing your accounts, donation is here lah. That's why remember donation is here. Donation you receive, you put 007, but you don't have to put as your income. But if they want, then you do lah. Yeah, you will probably have to validate also because the other party wants to know. Yeah, it's your income.
Okay, donation,
I remember got donation.
they have to apply also. I know.
Actually don't need, but they are, the person who donate wants to have the e-invoice. To them is the expenses. Unless you have the tax exempt receipt lah. The tax exempt receipt, but I think you still need to do.
But some of them still request for the invoice.
Ada tax exempt invoice juga lah. Then invoice maybe they want the consolidate, they want verified, so you have to verify lah.
Then once we onboard this system, then we need to use this one.
So you must know if you do donation, you put 007. This one remember got donation, 007 donation. Yeah. And then e-commerce, they do this, education fees. What other industry? What in the industry you have?
Solar, EV.
Retail lah.
Ooh, retail.
EV is retail, but retail is not much. The solar installation is quite a lot lah.
Oh. You will have to do e-invoice, individual e-invoice.
Yeah.
And also because it may come under the construction heading. Because e-invoice, normally the solar, it doesn't come lah, but you know, you come under that heading. So one day they may just say, oh, this is compulsory because it is a renovation to the house.
If I'm mistaken, we don't have a specific code for solar and like our
Green
industry.
energy lah.
It's usually, the majority of the time it's under construction. Like whenever we want to register somewhere, right, it's always, they will ask us to choose construction rather than something
It's either construction or others lah.
But don't choose construction lah.
Yeah.
Choose others lah.
Others. But can I see on the issuing e-invoice to foreign company? So can we go to that part?
Foreign company,
But no need lah, right? Because the company that I'm working for got tax exempt, so no need lah, right?
Your company tax exempt, why?
No, one of the company I'm working for is a NGO company. So we also receive donation from foreigner outside Malaysia.
Oh.
So no need lah, right? Because it's not part of income.
Okay. Any other things you want to talk about? So remember the 72 hours and also remember this slide lah. This one also, my invoice portal lah. My invoice mobile app. You can download from your app and then you can do that. Recap, okay. So I will use Okay, I will use this as my recap thing. First thing, we introduce the contents. Then later we introduce what is your needs. So just now we went through all your needs here. Okay. Then after that we went through the essentials. What is the e-invoice? Okay. What you need to know about e-invoice. Okay. And then we went through data fields. What are data fields that is required? Okay. And you must know the data fields because it is compulsory. Whether you use software or you want to do my invoice, you need to know the data fields, especially company team, the customer's team, the customer's email, IC number, handphone, address. Okay, 6 English for individual. Okay, then workflow. The workflow is actually to tell you that when the customers come to you, you must ask, you want receipt or don't want receipt? Actually, any industry don't need to give receipt also can, no need to invoice, except 7 companies that cannot give. Yeah, air industry, car, betting company, high value items, betting agents. Some of these companies cannot do e-invoice. The rest cannot do consolidate. The rest, anybody also, if you don't want to do invoice, don't want to do individual invoice, you can also consolidate. They already state that you can do that. Okay. Then e-invoice guidelines, we went through what are the individual guidelines for self-built son, and what are the challenges. Okay. Okay. Actually, that if you go inside the FAQ, there's a lot of FAQ. You should read the FAQ. Like I said just now, there's a PDPA FAQ. There's also next ya. So I need you all, like just now I said, make sure you come to this screen, read your e-invoice. Actually, oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to show. I just want to show you just now. Okay, you can come to the screen. This is the website. Just now the e-invoice, they show you the guidelines, the My Invoice portal, ask question, industry specific. Go through this guideline. Yeah, and then there's also see. So last time individuals, sole proprietor, they cannot put in the company's name. Now they can do company's name. Okay, what? Let's read up. There's also video how to register. Okay, besides doing how to do the software, you need to register your company, select the representative office, and select intermediary. Yeah, so these are our instructions there. There's also a video. No, they call it intermediary. They call it representative. Rep. And then rep. Okay.
How many reps can the company have?
You can many.
Can have many.
Okay, many. Sometimes actually the director is the representative of the company, but you don't expect the director to go in lah. So that's why the director employ the accountant or whoever to do lah. Okay, I have one client the staff become a director, so that the boss say okay lah, you do lah. But actually it's a staff lah, but they appoint the text so that she's responsible lah. So she's not representative. So she asked me, how I cannot appoint representative? I'm a director. Oh, because you are a director, so you don't need to appoint directive lah. Okay, so depends, yeah.
Director responsible, no, for accounts, no.
Yeah lah. Okay, so this is a good thing to go in. Then the user guide, you can also go the user guide. Okay, look through the portal. They will tell you how to go into my tax portal first time, how to do document, how to reject, how to represent it, and how to do intermediary. This is good to go in. It's free. Okay, so final, I just want you to make sure you go and read up on your own, because there will be changes. So as and when, you just make sure, especially before you do your submission lah. Okay, and you can also contact me.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you for attending. Thank you for attending our session. Hopefully you find it
Very
useful.
useful. Yes.
Thank you.
And this
Thank you.
is, an eye-opener.
Yeah, game changer.
Game changer and eye-opener for us.
Kejutkan, so shocker also.
Sebab kita tahu macam tu je, tak tahu apa
Yeah.
ni banyak macam ni, dan apa peranan kita memang
Peranan kita kena support LHDN.
Kalau kita tak support ni pun sekarang soon kita kena juga.
Hmm.
Kan?
Sebab our neighbouring country kan, dia tak ada buat company tau. Sekarang dia tengah buat. Our neighbouring company South World, they are doing to income tax also. They see Malaysia can do. Wah, how come we don't do? Because they normally do first. Sekarang kita Malaysia sudah buat, so they also buat.
Actually siapa yang buat ni? I mean, macam our neighbouring yang dekat.
I tahu. Down South lah, company tu lah, country tu lah, down South punya lah.
Yelah, tapi dia tak buat lagi kan?
Dia tak buat untuk income tax. Dia buat untuk business to business. So sekarang dia tengok, kita sebelum business to business, kita government. Oh, dia pun nak sekarang. So sekarang kita punya team dekat sana buat untuk dia lah. I mean, basically, kita punya team sudah experience di Malaysia kan. Untuk Singapore senang saja.
Betul.
What the requirement sajalah. Okay,
Dan
down
dia
South
orang
punya.
lagi straight, jadi senang je. Tak adalah macam kita.